All right. So, welcome, guys. This is going to be a little bit of a different experience tonight. Instead of our normal, I don't know what you want to call it, our normal like campaign. That's
Whatever
the
this
word.
is.
That's the word. Yeah. Um, Instead of being normal, we're going to be weird. If you can call what we do on a normal day weird or normal, I don't know. Words are hard. Anyhow, this is going to be a one shot that takes place in the same sort of world as Currents of Chaos, but this will not be using the PCs from the regular episodes for the Keepers of Fate. We had a couple of people who just couldn't make it tonight, and so I threw together this little one shot to just kind of tide us over. So real quick, we'll introduce the characters. Let me see if I can actually get a what I want to do here. Take this open, put it here, and then go to the.
Build the Iron Blood. Yeah. And if I use a cantrip for an action, then I can use an attack still, weapon attack. That's bonus action. Right. Yeah, yeah, yeah. Yeah. Plus 6 attack modifier. What?
Thank you, Kate. You're the best. Switching scenes always does that, and I hate it. I wish it would just remember my preferences, but it doesn't. Grr. Um. Anyway, if you can read the character sheet, that effectively I've just been telling Jesse the highlights of what's on the character sheet. Um, if not, then I'm very sorry, but it's not super critical. Just he's an Eldritch Knight and he does magic and fighting things. Um, let's see. Both of the wait, what? Why does that say 0d8?
I was wondering that. I figured maybe you meant
I didn't
whatever
type that in.
the
That's auto-generated.
oh
Suffers the attack's
wasn't sure if that
normal
was supposed to be like
effects.
what how many d8s it would be at my level, like two
Okay.
d8 or something.
It would be 2d8 currently. Yeah, I guess the 0d8 is just that's the base is the normal damage, not the um and it becomes sheathed in booming energy if the target willingly moves before then it takes a d8. Okay. So, you would just booming blade would be you make a weapon attack um when you cast the spell. So you'd use your action to cast the spell. And part of that would be a weapon attack. It's not separate. Um And if you hit, then all right, we'll get to that when we come to it. But effectively, it's a normal hit. But then if they try and move, they take extra damage. and that damage increases with your level. Lightning Lure is a
Oh,
good one. Lightning Lure is basically, oh, you want to run away? No, you don't. Um, absorb elements is great if you're fighting against a caster. It just takes damage and transfers it into your next hit. So that's super useful. Shield is your typical crap, I'm about to take a lot of damage. React, put up a shield, and it might miss you. It also just nixes magic missile, but that is what it is. Uh,
and because it's a reaction, I can do it when I know what someone's attack is and they hit.
yes, yep. It's actually when you're hit by the attack, you can take the reaction. So there's no chance of wasting it. The only thing is it is a spell slot that you have to use.
Right.
Thunderwave, you've seen Jasna use that before. Scorching Ray, you've seen Farkin use that a ton. Shatter is useful because it can literally break things. Certain things that have like sensitive hearing are vulnerable to it. Um,
Like what my guidance counselor did to my hopes and dreams.
yeah, that.
Okay.
Yeah,
Except
that
it,
looks cool.
only if she did
3d8.
it by shouting at you, not just by psychological torture.
What is a 3d8 plus 1d8?
Per spell level, so if you cast it at higher levels, you get
Oh, it's
another.
3d8.
Yeah, so it starts at 3d8 when you cast it at second level. If you cast it at 38, 48, 5 you get
Got it.
5d8, etc. Third you get 40, 5d8 words.
SL
Um,
means spell level.
yes. So those are kind of the main things to keep a lookout for Beldar. He is going to be kind of the shock trooper. He is more the tank here, especially since he's got the defense fighting style and a 19 armor class, which just raises his AC. Um, so you are pretty much a tank in this case, a tank that can use spells to make himself beefier and to do damage to things from afar. Um, C is our kobold rogue being played by Dennis, and he's a lot of fun. He is sort of he's not like the skulky rogue. Instead, he's like the sort of more spy archetype. He's very perceptive, very good at sort of sussing out intentions and that sort of thing. You can see the places where he has his expertise are like insight, acrobatics, perception, persuasion, stealth, and survival. He doesn't have expertise in acrobatics, but yeah, high score. Um, so like those expertise levels are really nice and will kind of come in handy for you know, gathering information effectively, which will feature somewhat in this one shot. Your big thing, of course, is your ability to sneak attack. That combined with the pack tactics that you get from being a kobold, super nice. You
Yeah.
just always have the advantage you need for sneak attack.
Yep.
If you are in melee range with another friend.
Yeah, I just
Um,
got to go into battle with a buddy system.
yeah. Um, So as a scout, which is your archetype, the two things you get are skirmisher, which allows you to just move if somebody comes up close to you. You can just be like, nope, bye, and just kind of get yourself out of danger. Um, and the other thing is your proficiency in nature and survival, so you're kind of good at finding your way and making sure. Thank you, dear. Dinner time.
Hello.
Making sure that you were able to sort of make it in and out of combat relatively unscathed. Uncanny dodge and evasion are super nice. Evasion is just a passive thing. You just take half damage on deck saves. You're probably familiar with that from Cranmore. Um, and then uncanny dodge is basically an active version of that. You have to use your reaction, but it works against anything. Um,
Do I have to
sunlight
call that out ahead
sensitivity
of time?
is not great, but we're gonna be entirely in rain this one shot, so it's not gonna matter.
Okay. Does
Um,
Uncanny Dodge require me to declare it ahead of time?
Uncanny dodge? No. When you are like when you get hit.
I can say, well, then I use Uncanny Dodge, and then that means I can't take a different action.
It's a reaction, not an action.
Okay.
But you couldn't like then take an opportunity attack.
Okay.
Uh, yeah. So magic items. Um, I think I did add it. Okay. The brooch of shielding is what C has, And that brooch allows you to, I believe it makes you resistant to force damage and immune to magic missile. So spells like
I
Eldritch Blast will
don't
do
see that on
nothing.
here. You sure that's on C and not Iron Blood?
Yep. It is under your inventory. It does not have its description. Um,
What is it called?
Brooch of Shielding.
Oh, there it is. Yes.
Uh, magic item list. Where did you go?
C the anemic. Opposite of Iron Blood. I'm like a sea anemone. I'm sea anemia.
Sea anemone. Yeah. So just double checking that I'm not wrong about Brooch of Shielding. And I am not. Resistant to force damage and immunity to damage from magic missile. So, super nice. Um, and then Beldar, you have adamantine plate. So you cannot be crit against. It doesn't give you an any like extra bonus to your armor class, but you just any crit just becomes a normal hit. So you don't get the double damage. All right. So with that, a little bit of an introduction to the story here. Effectively, the two of you are members of the Danish resistance. C was once a member of the Eyes of the Crown in Dain, which is effectively Darren's spy network. Um, he was raised from his youth to execute this job, and he is excellent or was excellent at doing it, I should say. One day he overheard some Danish higher ups talking, pardon me, about plans to completely replace the Danish army with Wraithhearts instead of real soldiers, and mentioned by force if necessary. If any of the Danish soldiers resisted that action, they would be put to the sword. C immediately was like, I cannot be okay with that, and just turned and left without a word. Never looked back. Um, Beldor was a was one of the frontline soldiers in Litterast when the coastal duchy city was first overtaken. Um, and he fought in that battle bravely and won the first victory, taking the city for Dain. However, a few weeks later, he saw the Wraithhearts firsthand. He saw them come on ships with human commanders, even some that he had known, and was so appalled by the fact that Dain would employ such monstrosities that under cover of night he stole away. He refused to be part of this. He was captured by the Erevari military, but after a brief spell of convincing them that he was on their side and giving them some information that helped them retake Litterast, he was freed. And he spent a little while in a border town on the southern end of Erevar until he saw what happened at Valenford. And when he saw that, uh, which you'll find out in a moment what that was, um, when he witnessed that destruction, he crossed the river to the south and was looking for survivors. And that is when the two of you will meet up. Uh, C, you were given information that a high ranking general named Christoph in the Danish military would be in that area and that they were conducting some sort of an experiment. By the time you got there, you saw Valenford razed to the ground, buildings burned. Uh, as far as you could tell, there were no survivors. And so, true to your nature, you begin looking around the city, well, not city, the small town, for clues as to what might have happened, why there are no bodies around, which strikes you immediately as very odd, um, and what, if anything, you can find out about uh, where whoever did this is going.
Why? How has it come to be that we're both there at this ruin?
So you were there because of intel you were given saying that Kristoff would be there.
Okay.
Beldor saw the destruction from the other side of the river, and once the battle had subsided, went over across the river to see if there was anyone remaining.
But I'm still a part of the Danish army?
You are not, no. You defected.
Okay. In this instance, I just defected. Or...
No, you had defected before. When you were in Litterast, which is a city in Erevar, and saw the Wraithhearts coming as your reinforcements, you were like, fuck that shit.
Oh. Yeah, fuck that shit.
So, C, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
On the roll channel.
Yeah, are we on roll 20 right now?
Not yet, no.
But we will be.
25. You are muted, Matt.
Thank you. As you were scrounging about in the city, trying to look for clues, you notice a couple of things. As I mentioned before, there are no bodies. No civilians seem to be around. No, I mean, let's see, would C have seen... Oh, that's weird. Let's see, would C have seen what he saw?
I take the saw, I cut the bench in half.
I think he would probably have encountered Wraithhearts before, so you know that they don't really leave corpses. They kind of just dissipate when they die. So you don't expect to find any of those, but you are surprised that you don't find any corpses of civilians. But as you are going about, you spot one, a large burnt-out husk of a building that is kind of... It's not grand in any real sense, but it is definitely like marked among the buildings in the town. It is bigger than the rest of them.
What has it been in a meeting hall?
Or perhaps like the mayor's manor, and there might be a meeting hall within it, something like that.
And in my perception, do I detect anything else in this place besides myself moving about?
Yes, as you've been looking and seeing no corpses, you're surprised to find not a corpse, but you actually see a living person moving about, a dwarf to be precise, sort of rummaging around on his own sort of investigation. You don't get quite a full view of him at first, but you can see him and then or hear him, and then moving around a corner of a building, you can see Beldor Ironblood, but you don't know that yet. Searching
I
in
moved to
the
hide
ruins
to
of a
sort of
building.
watch him. I moved to hide just to watch him a bit to see what he's about first.
Okay.
Get a sense of his intention.
Cool. Beldor, you have noticed much the same, that there are no corpses about, and that strikes you as odd, and so you're kind of going between, from building to building, sort of just investigating, seeing if you can find any traces of where the bodies might have gone. And you come upon a butcher shop, and you kind of peek inside and step inward, and it's pretty much deserted, but you continue sort of looking around through it, seeing if you can find anything, any clues, and go ahead and make an investigation check for me.
Sure thing. I get the roll channel. Come on. Oh, there it is. Sorry.
All good. It gave me time to actually take a full bite of food.
So investigation.
Okay, cool.
17.
So the 17, you're kind of you almost turn around and leave before checking it, but something kind of stops you. Just a little like feeling in the back of your head, and you kind of crane over the counter, and you see a trap door that has been flipped open, leading down to probably a meat cellar of some kind, given that this is a butcher shop. You don't
Um,
hear or see anything within, but you can't really see the whole way as it's a small trap door leading into a decent sized room.
I'll slowly approach and tiptoe my way down.
Okay. Um.
Does that mean I'm losing sight of him?
Yes.
I want to, before I do that, I want to get a read on uh, who this person might be. Is he wearing armor? Is he wearing? Does he have a sigil? Something identifying of his family or crest?
Sure. Go ahead and make an insight check and a perception check.
We already got the perception check.
This is for a different
Oh, I see.
outcome.
Well, I only got a 10 on perception. And then you said insight.
Yep.
23.
Okay.
Ooh.
So just on his body language and mostly body language, you're able to kind of tell most of what he's radiating as far as emotion is like concern. He seems mostly just trying to find something not too different from yourself, something that points to what might have happened here.
Okay, I will tail him at a bit of a distance.
Mm-hmm. With that perception check, you don't see anything like a device uh, or anything like really identifying. He does have faded black armor on, and he does have sort of a half cloak, which at some point bore a sigil, but it is faded beyond recognition.
That's very telling. And that is an identifier unto itself.
Mm-hmm.
Because I know what he's not.
Yeah.
Right, so I'm trailing him.
Okay.
Quietly.
Beldor, as you go into the cellar, what was your investigation check again? A 17? Okay. So as you go down, you sort of start to look around, and it doesn't look like it doesn't. I mean, certainly no one's inside, and it looks like there hasn't been for a couple of days. But you do see signs of activity that was somewhat recent. You see some meat hanging from hooks, and certain parts of a bit of the flesh has been sort of charred away, and you can see where it wasn't like a sharp knife or anything, but something looks like clawed or pulled meat off of one of the carcasses hanging. But most of the rest of the meat has spoiled, and the smell is none too pleasant. Um, and you also see sort of a very crude rock dish that is set up against the wall, where you can see a small trickle of water runs down from the surface into the room. That trickle is currently, it's small, but it's sizable enough to be, something you could drink from, as it is currently raining and water is leaking in.
And is there a lot of water on the ground? It's been leaking for a while.
A bit, yeah. It has sort of overflowed the crude bowl, and there's a small puddle around it.
And how fresh are the claw marks on that meat?
Not super. A couple of days old. It's kind of begun to rot around where the cut was made. I said clawing at it, but I wouldn't, like, it doesn't look like they were sharp claws. It looks like fingernails, like something dull.
Okay, but flesh was pulled off
Yeah.
a few days ago,
hmm
and the crazy attack happened not too long ago.
hmm
Is it
actually,
just
about that long ago. Like they look like they came from maybe a day or two after the attack.
oh what? Oh, I thought the attack had just happened. So
Pretty
the attack
much.
happened.
It took you a bit of time to sort of get passage and cross the river, but it was very recent.
But they look like the same amount of time has
Yeah.
passed. Okay, that's interesting. Is there any? Is it just one room, or are there any doors to any other rooms, or?
Nope, nothing else you could see. C, where are you tailing him? Like, where are you? Are you sort of at the entrance to the butcher shop? Are you inside? Are you outside?
I don't. Well, I probably get as far as the entrance, and I think I'm going to wait on the countertop.
Okay.
You had to peer over a counter to see the entrance to the
Alrighty.
shop door, so I'll wait there.
Sounds good. Yeah, so you don't really see anything else in there, Beldar.
All right, well, I'll come out of there.
All right. As you come out, you see a kobold on the countertop standing there in front of you.
I feel like you're a kobold. That's hilarious.
Try not to soil your armor, soldier.
Well, was that a surprise? That was my surprise. Like you're a kobold and that you're standing there. I'll stop, tense up, and say, "Who are you? Where did you come from?"
I came from right behind you and underneath you. That's. I think we're here for probably the same thing. We're looking around here. And another time, I probably would have sent someone else to find out who you are, but these are these times, and I'm here to find out who you are and what happened here. But it seems that you and I arrived at the same time with the same mystery in front of us. My name is C. I apologize for my bad manners. And you are not a soldier, but you were, weren't you?
That's true.
That is a fine armor, but a worn armor.
I have seen many day in battle.
Hmm. So what brings you here and this side of the river and away from any other battle?
An event happened several days ago that made me come over here to check out what it was and what was going on. And something didn't sit right with me, and something really doesn't sit right with me now.
This isn't official business, is it?
No.
Well, it's not for me either. But something did happen here. And maybe if we put our heads together, we can try to figure this out. I get a sense that we're probably at equal purposes.
Can I make a maybe an insight check to see if he's being like honest or
Sure.
how truthful he is? I'm sure my trust would go that far right off the bat. $18.
Dennis, I'll let you answer.
Oh, everything I said is honest. I'm not making an effort at a deception.
Alrighty.
But I am kind of, I guess, playing. I'm also not very forthcoming with a lot of information. So
Yeah.
And
everything with what's at hand
right.
and what's at hand is very mysterious. I don't have information on my part to share with what's going on here because I just got here, and this is kind of weird. But at least
I'll
the
reach out
intention is honest.
I'll reach out my hand and say,
I
reach out my hand and say,
Oh. Do you need coin?
You keep cutting out.
I reach out my hand and say,
Same place. Every time I reach out my hand and say,
I keep hearing you talk. Or maybe you're not talking, I'm just hearing something else. But I reach out my hand and say, Beldor Ironblood for a handshake.
Ah, you're Ironblood. I've heard of you. Yes. Yeah, you had a touch of conscience. We are at equal purposes. And I give a half bow nod sort of thing, not reaching my hands out. I am C. That's usually more than someone gets to hear of me.
Fair enough.
Beldor, probably even with being a dwarf, with C standing on uh, the countertop, he's only like a little bit taller than you. Maybe like 6 inches. C is a little dude.
So,
Kobolds are small.
but I imagine I'm not that tall, being a dwarf.
Right. Yeah, like you got probably a head and a half over the counter, but not much more. But then the kobold isn't much taller than a head and a half.
Gotcha.
I'm not more than I need to be.
Exactly. You're the precisely correct size.
Well said.
All right. So as the two of you kind of unite in purpose, I assume you go back out into the town and continue trying to find more information.
Yes.
Right.
I will have compared, I'll have shared my observations thus far. No people, not even civilians. This place is a ruin, except for this building.
And normally
Which
you'd
is
have
still
so many people pulling out the dead and taking on the cleanup.
Yeah, I'm wondering if there's going to be a mass grave somewhere, if they fled. But I don't know that I've seen signs of an exodus of any kind. Or
And the only tampering I've seen is the meat down in the basement has been some of it's been pulled and torn off the hook.
is there only one way in or out of that basement?
Huh? I'm sorry.
Is there only one way in or out of that basement?
As far as I could tell, looked like it was pulled off about as long ago as the incident happened here.
Matt, I think I'd actually like to check that basement and see if there's any other entry, exit, or hidey places. Or
Sounds good. Go ahead and roll an investigation check for me.
oh, I have another character that's bad at investigation. Well, I got a natural 20.
Yeah, you crit.
Not on a skill, but
You scour the place, and you find nothing really. You find everything that Beldor saw. You find the little cup of water, and you find the carcasses of meat, mostly rotted. One of them a little bit picked away at before probably whoever ate from it decided it was more of a risk than an asset to continue eating spoiled meat. And
No sign of.
no other egress.
Okay. Ironblood, did we lose you?
Yeah, he had to take a bio real quick.
Oh. Well, in that case, it's time to check some of the other buildings for any other sign.
Yes, indeed. Assuming Beldor is going to go along in tow with you, go ahead and make another investigation check. Actually, wait.
I have him do
Say-
investigations, honestly.
I'm going to look at his character sheet and make one for him.
Beldor, what do you
Investigation is +3. So let's go ahead and roll.
We both can't see crap. Even if we step in it.
So with a 15, Beldor and you kind of scour a couple of the buildings. Most of them are just picked clean or burned enough that there's not really anything to salvage from them. And you kind of save your best lead for last, that being the Elderman's house, that sort of manor that you noted at first. Um, Going inside there, it's still pretty burnt up. There's maybe like several square foot sections of like the second floor that are held up by scorched beams, but still sort of aloft. The ground floor is mostly covered in rubble from the upper floor, but you do find a staircase leading downward into perhaps a wine cellar or something similar. Um, and that seems to be sort of the only place left to go.
Yeah, let's check it out.
All right.
Sorry. Weird. I'm getting Canadian. Let's check it out. There we go.
I think we got you. It's all good.
Do this.
So heading down into the cellar, it does turn out to be a wine cellar, and there are several bottles. Most of them are, relatively plain, nothing crazy nice. But interestingly, there is another sort of segment to this basement that looks like it has been very deliberately picked through, and things either specifically burned or moved away. You can see sort of the. Actually, I guess it hasn't been long enough for dust to settle in that way. So you can sort of see like there's furniture, but it doesn't look like it's a fully furnished room. And so just sort of by that, you kind of tell some things have been taken out of here. And you see mostly just bare furniture. What are make perception checks for me, both of you.
Mhm.
Ten.
Okay, that's unfortunate.
I mean,
There we go.
man, if I could roll like this on in a normal group, I swear.
C is like very detail focused and is like looking at the small things, and will eventually find something interesting, but kind of can't see the forest for the trees. And Beldor kind of like takes a scan around the room and goes, "What the heck is that?" Pointing to a sort of divot in the middle of the room, maybe about like 4 feet wide, and 6 inches deep at its deepest point, kind of expanding out as part of a sphere, almost as if something was just shoved into the floor. It is not how the floor is built, and you can kind of see cracks in the tiling around it.
It's a tile floor with a divot in it, a large divot,
Mm-hmm.
and nothing in the divot except empty floor that's been divoted in.
Correct.
And the tiles are cracked because something caused a force to do this.
Mm-hmm. And you cannot see any discernible source. As you are
Make a note of that. Something has the ability to cause a huge downward force without coming from above in any way that we can tell. Doesn't currently exist here in any way that we can see. And there's none of the furniture in this particular spot.
Mm-hmm.
Does the furniture look like it was set up to watch this divot?
It's hard to tell because just for the most part, the furniture is on the walls and facing inward, but that could just be that's how the room is laid out.
Okay.
But you do notice something as you're looking around for details. See, you open up one of the sort of chests around, and going through the drawers, you find a pile of burnt pages. Going through them, one of them is not completely consumed by flame.
Ah.
And you can make out a couple of words. you can make out a line that reads "Wraith Army nearly ready for deployment," scrawled in a hasty hand. And then a little bit further down, you see UTH to Tolis, and then burn marks. And then a little bit further down on the next line, His Unparalleled Majesty's Researchers. So I'll send that in Discord chat, what you see.
Yeah.
Oh no, I want to paste you as plain text, dang it.
These are just loose leaf papers, or is this like bound in a book?
They are loose leaf papers. There's maybe a dozen pages.
Oh my god, it's so small.
If you click on it, it should zoom a little bit and be more readable. Hopefully.
What are the towns south of here?
Make a history check for me. Both of you. Oh, wait, actually, sorry. C would not need to make one because this is, like, where he's from. The only Danish town or city you know of that starts with Tolis is Toliskir, the capital.
Okay.
The capital of
Dain.
Dain?
Mm-hmm.
I mean, I'm making a bit of a conjecture that something is moving south to Toliskir.
To attack?
Could this town be on a route that would be heading south to Toliskir? Are we north of that place?
That's tough to say because I am aware that there were experiments going on here, not necessarily movements, right? I know there have been experiments going on in this area, and not entirely sure what they were for. And I also know that my previous position was a part of the Danish army. Probably shouldn't say that out loud, but for the attack of
I can tell.
I'm trying to figure out what's going on here.
You wear it. It's fine. And I see what's key here is the Wraith Army nearly ready for deployment, which means that things are much further along than I had thought.
Well, we had also been found out that they were going to replace us with the Wraith Army, which is why I left. I'm going to be down with that.
Likewise.
So,
Both of you
I don't know.
familiar with Dain?
There's some sort of research involved in the city surrounding the ability to have that many wraiths, or I mean, where do wraiths come from? And I'm not sure if I know that is.
Probably not.
So I'm rather taking for granted that there was some research into a Wraith army, and probably this was a touch point for that. One of my immediate concerns right now is that there could be intelligence here that needs to be shared, that there could be movement of some Wraith army or other resource, and that needs to be conveyed through our network. So this is so out of character.
Mm-hmm.
Where are we versus Toliskir?
You are northwest of Toliskir.
Okay, so back in character. So I think that this is a point en route to Toliskir, and this oath to Tolis is, I think, part of a message south to Toliskir, suggesting that something is on the move there, and there needs to be forewarning.
Well, it sounds like we need to get a move on. We're going to see what's going on.
Yeah. So the next thing to do is, I think, search around this town a little more to get a better understanding of what we're dealing with, and then send a message.
Yeah. Well, let's drink on it and grab one of the bottles and break off the end of it and grab a couple glasses and pour some wine out of there.
All right.
And share it with C.
Before I take that, I don't have any of the normal immunities, or I don't have any immunities on poison. Yeah, it was. I saw you open up in front of me. I'm sure it's fine. I'll tentatively. I'll wait a beat to see him drink it before I drink mine.
Sure.
Drinking strange brews.
I think they're tainted in some way.
It's not that I distrust you; it's that I distrust this place.
All right. As you drink to your plan, nothing happens to either of you. Neither of you drop dead, at least not yet. And yeah, so going back out, go ahead and make a couple of survival checks for me, one each.
Sure.
And I will actually be right back. I'm gonna grab a drink. I can still hear you, so you can tell me the
Like a
results.
shortcut Discord for going back and forth between channels, previous channels.
Control
I
K,
got it. 27.
Control K.
or is it Control Tab? It's one of the two.
Control Tab. Oh, that just okay. Well, that'll go through the servers.
Yeah, I think you can then search for the channel name. I think.
Control Tab's great. It's like Alt Tab except with the channels. Anyway, I got a
I was
27.
hoping there was going to
Dang.
be like a shortcut for going back and forth between like ones that you had previously been to.
Mm,
Like I'm here, and the last one I was at was that one.
gotcha. If there is such a
So
shortcut,
if I
I do not know it.
Yeah, if I have two channels that are going back and forth between two specific spots, it would be a lot easier. Go back and forth between the Keepers of Fate. But I do know the shortcut for me. List.
Now I want to drink.
I went too far away, I think.
How you fell off?
I think we're back. It was beeping at me like, "Hey, stop moving, no." All right, so 27. Cool. Yeah. So you see everything. C sees a bunch of footprints. And I mean like a lot. So it is quite rainy, and as you are trudging through the mud and kind of trying to find your tracks or trying to find traces of what might have happened, most of what you infer from everything you see is panic. There are hundreds of footprints just intersecting and running all over the place, and it's difficult to tell one from another. Most of them are overlapped with at least one other set of feet. But as you expand your search a little further, you notice a couple of, I'd say you could guess there's somewhere between 4 and 6 wagons, sets of wagon wheels that have made ruts in the mud that are leading away from the town.
How long ago?
Well, the rain makes it a little hard to tell, but within the past couple of days. As fresh or slightly fresher than the battle.
And are they heading towards Talisker?
They are heading southeast. So
They're taking the
as near as
people
you
to
can
Isengard.
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 to Isengard.
Taking the people to Isengard.
And that's inside the city.
Inside and then just out of. It's kind of a loose boundary, as it's a small town. It just kind of sprawls a bit, but it leads away from the away from the town.
All right.
I am going to create a note and put it on one of the doors away from the elements, so that if anyone else is to come through, they're going to see a simple sign. And I'm not sure what help me here, Builder. We got to think of something clever to put as a warning for anyone that's going to come through.
So I will say you also know thieves can't. So you could put markings on places to notify your kind, as well as a note for general populace that might pass through.
Okay, so general populace will get one note, and thieves can't a different note.
Okay.
The thieves can't is going to be a reproduction, as best I can, of the bits of note left over that we found,
Okay.
with some interpretation. Wraith army nearly ready for deployment. South to Talisker is what we found. Um, spread message
Okay.
in
Go ahead
regular
and
language.
oh, go ahead.
I'm gonna say in regular language, some vague warning of wraiths of
Abandon
wraith,
hope, all ye who enter
or
here.
like caution for wraith hearts or something.
Yeah, for sure. Um, Go ahead
Here
and
into
just
the
roll a d20 for me.
Okay.
Are you saying that the Wraithhearts are from the Danish army?
Yes. Beware Danish army wraith hearts, something like that.
Okay.
Here into the south. So I got a 16.
A 16, you said?
Yep.
Okay.
What's that, Jesse? Where are we? You gonna say something?
We're in Dain, aren't we? We're
Yes.
going towards the Danish capital, but we're in Dain.
You are
and
in
you're
Dain.
putting up a
You are just on the Danish side of the
calling out-
border.
I don't know if that's significant, but like calling out the Danish army in Dain.
It's
On
significant.
the way to the capital. Yeah.
So basically what I was having you roll for is how many folks are in your network at this point. And so I think that you know that there's a pretty good likelihood that someone will follow up where you went in a couple of days' time.
Okay.
Just as sort of a secondary gathering of information and seeing if, you're there, if there's any signs of a struggle or whatnot, like just a checkup, effectively. So that message should be seen pretty soon.
Okay. All right. So, is there anything else we should be looking around for here, Builder? Before following these tracks?
Are you asking me?
Yeah.
You said, what else should we be looking for? Then you're quite here.
If
Yes.
there is anything.
Do we want to look around at anything else around here before we're trying to follow these tracks?
Oh. I think we should follow these tracks.
All right. I take one last gander around to see if there's anything else to be seen or something that might be out of place or a clue. In a very cautious way, because I'm on edge now.
Yeah. Go ahead and make just a last perception check for me. If you roll really well, I'll come up with something for you.
26.
Damn, that was really well. Okay. Let's see.
As I'm peering around building corners and hiding in shadows, looking around.
Yeah. Yes, you do actually find something else. As you are, it's actually in a bit of graffiti. That looks like it was very hastily painted up in sort of an
That's a
out-of-the-way
penis.
corner. The traveler was here. So what you see is a drawing of like a very crude, very quick, like stick figure drawing of a person holding what looks like a staff with like light coming out from the top of it, like a wizard's staff.
Mhm.
And in its other hand, the figure is holding what looks like a weird box. It's like box shaped, but it has like a kind of a nondescript design. Like the artist wasn't able to like get much in. You could just kind of tell it's sort of a scribble. But there's a design on that box.
Does that design mean anything to me or Belder?
No, it's not really recognizable as a real design.
Fair enough.
Is it on a stone wall or like on the outside wall or?
It's like scratched into a wooden wall.
Probably in a hurry. Noted.
Alrighty.
So we're up against something like that. Maybe I'll just assume.
Well,
All right.
something that can cause this city to be barren with that quickly, with no dead bodies left behind.
And cracked tile. The Masons Guild will be in a fit.
And there's none of them left to be in a fit. It's fine.
Okay. Not the guild.
All the guilds.
Oh boy.
Okay, so
Following the tracks. Da-na-na-na-na-na.
indeed. So you are a couple of days behind, but they are many, and so are traveling slower than you. The two of you can manage to make pretty good time and catch up with them. So as you are traveling quickly over the landscape, the rain is very much on your side. The storm does not seem to abate, and through day and night you get just continual downpour, which makes the tracks from the wagons very easy to see and follow throughout each day. Around the, I don't know, roll a d4 for me, Jesse.
One.
Okay. Around the second day, um, you're kind of traveling the road, and here and there you like lose the wagon tracks for a moment, but you just keep going on the road and they always pick back up. Um, you see a few dark figures in the road up ahead and what looks like a wagon turned over in the distance.
Want to do insight. That's a classic trap.
Okay. Go ahead and roll.
$11.
Okay. It seems to be a caravan in trouble. You cannot spot any of the normal signs of it being a trap.
Okay. We should probably help them. As I look to Belder expectantly and hang back.
Absolutely.
What do you want me to do?
You're a very gracious Cobalt.
I can't. What am I supposed to lift it?
Let's. I'll approach slowly.
Okay. Are you approaching stealthily or just slowly?
Stealthily.
Okay. Let's get a stealth roll from each of you. I'll hand wave the disadvantage for plate. You don't have to worry about that.
16.
22.
Nice. All right, let's jump
Having
into
a
roll
Belder
20.
shadow.
Get this. There we go. Can even zoom in. Oh, let me do the auras real quick. That's always a good idea. Ooh, not that big. Yeah, more like that. Different color though. Y'all will be purple. They'll be red. Actually, I wonder if I do this and then copy him if the aura gets copied with him. Because that would be easier than doing that 5 times. Yes. Alright. So I'll give you guys control of your players too. This one is C. Controlled by... No. Damn it. Dennis. Click the right thing. Thank you. And this one is Beldor. Controlled by Jesse. Alright, make sure that you guys can both move your tokens around. Jesse, you're the bottom one. Dennis, you're the top. Alrighty. So, what you see before you are 5 Wraith Hearts looming over a merchant and his cart. There are sounds of panicked voices from inside the cart that suggest there's more than just the one guy. But one of them has sort of fallen out of the cart, and one of the Wraith Hearts is beginning to move its way towards him. So you all have effectively a surprise round. So go ahead and roll initiative, but the first round the enemies will not get an action.
I moved my rolls to roll 20.
Okay.
Alrighty.
And my initiative is 16.
Alright. C got a 16.
Let's see if I have any pluses for my initiative. Let's see.
I may need a little bit of help with combat strategy.
I can absolutely offer that.
Yeah, I'll have a general idea of what my intention is.
Alright, so they are all going to go on 11. What did you get, Balder?
11.
What's your bonus? Oh, wait, actually, they might have a bonus. So they might actually go before you. They do have a bonus.
Have you
My
know
proficiency
initiative?
bonus?
Yeah, your initiative should have a. Does it not have a bonus?
I think he has.
Now it's 0.
Oh, it's okay. You take your time. Make the right move. No rush.
Yeah, it's not actually always bad to go later. It can give you a bit more information. Yeah, but alright. C, you're at the top of the order, but actually before we start, I'm going to take a quick bio, so let's go on a very brief intermission. We will be right back, everybody. Bear with us.
So Matt, we've got a question for you.
Okay.
So you had us roll initiative when we're too far away to reach each other, but we are sneaking.
Oh yeah, you can move yourselves a little bit closer. Um, I'd say they'd be able to tell once you were within like 15 feet, so be further than 15 feet from the closest one. But yeah,
So my plan is to be sneaking up to the closest Wraithheart und-
absolutely.
undetected and doing a sneak attack.
Yep, easy.
Okay, so that's what I'd do from the bushes in the trees.
And the
Okay, so
trees.
how does this work? I'm gonna roll my d20, right?
Yep. So you roll your attack as normal.
Okay, as normal, I think I got a rapier, um, which is so it gives me +7 to
Mm-hmm.
attack. So that's an 11.
Ooh.
The
You
sneak
have
attack.
advantage because you were
Okay.
unseen by the person you were attacking.
All right, let's hope this does something. Uh, that's 20 after adding things. It's not a crit.
There
So
you go.
that's 20.
That'll hit.
Okay. And then the damage is 1d8 plus 4 piercing.
Plus your sneak attack damage, which I believe at your level is 4d6. That
Roll.
is on the third page, second page of your character sheet. It's the fourth thing under rogue features. Yeah, 4d6.
I'll just believe you. Okay. Plus 4d6.
The second page for you, Dennis, is where all of your like features are. So that has a good description of everything you can do.
Righto. Um, so oh, there it is. Sneak attack 40 once per turn, 46. Um, if I have advantage on the attack.
Yep.
You don't need advantage on the attack roll if another enemy of the target is within 5 feet of it.
So if you're meleeing with another friend, then
Yeah, then I get it.
you get it.
Okay, so that's 24 points of damage.
Okay, sweet. He is bloodied immediately as you come up behind and you just sink your rapier into the meatiest looking part of him. Meaty being a relative term here since they are Wraithhearts.
Okay. Do I get any other actions this round?
It's your full turn, so you could take a bonus action. You
Bonus?
could take an object interaction, any of that.
Um, I am going to press my. You know, I'm not going to press my advantage. Hide action.
Okay.
What does that do?
I believe with your cunning action, you could take it as a bonus action. So
Yep.
you'd roll a stealth check. Yeah, I'll say it might be a bit harder since you're right next to him, but you could still go ahead and do it. They'll just get
And just some.
effectively a quote unquote advantage on his passive perception.
All right, I got a 24.
All right, that's enough that you disappear behind a bush, and as he turns around to try and find the source of the stabbing wound he just received, he is unable to see anyone but Balder.
Must be the wind.
Must have been the wind.
Okay.
But he is now alerted to Belder's presence. The Wraithhearts, being surprised, do not get to move this round. However, as the one roars out in pain, all of them do turn around to sort of face the rear. They do not see C, but they do see Belder. C is unseen.
Fantastic.
This was a
But I
great
still get a
name to give him. And then, yeah, Belder, it's your turn.
All right. I'm gonna go in here and take my battle axe out,
Alright.
Giant Slayer, and take 2 attacks
Alrighty.
right off the bat. I get a intelligence proficiency.
No,
Or
it's not like Hexblade in that respect. It's a normal melee attack, so it's your strength. But your bonus is on there. It's a +8.
oh, +8. Okay.
All right. That was a plus 10, or is that not your roll? That's not your roll.
It says it's rolling the dice. Dot dot dot.
Oh, huh.
Weird.
It's been
What
slow.
did I
It's
do?
being slow, I guess. I don't know. There it is.
Hey.
We'll take the first one since I'm guessing you tried to retype it. Either way, it hits. So roll a d12 and add 5 as your. It is a +1 great axe, so it's your strength mod +1.
You said D12 plus 5, right?
Yep.
16.
Nice. All right. So your first attack lands 16 points of damage, and this Wraithheart is looking seriously hurt as you lock eyes with it as it turns around to see you. And as soon as you know your position's given away, you just rush forward and slash through him with your axe. His form actually like splits apart and then knits itself back together as the axe passes through.
And I get
Second
sorry.
attack. You get a second attack, right? Yeah.
Yeah. Well, you want me to roll it again or use both rolls for both
It's
attacks?
another roll.
18.
That hits. And damage. 7. All right. That is actually enough. So it is just enough, and he goes down from these 3 rapid succession hits from heretofore unseen attackers. 4 Wraithhearts remain, and they begin to converge on you, but not before C has a chance to move again.
So I like to think that I hid really well, so this should be a sneak attack on this guy, right?
Yes.
Okay.
Also, just to say one more thing before the end of my turn, try to take my job. These guys aren't so good.
All right, so I rolled to attack and I got a 17. Does that hit?
That does hit.
All right.
They are regular
then-
Wraithhearts. Their AC is not that good.
And then the D8 and the 46 and the 4. 22 points of damage.
Nice.
And then my second attack, I'm going to try to do that again.
You do not get it on your second attack, the sneak attack.
Okay. That makes
What-
sense.
Yeah.
Okay. Does an 18 hits? Okay, good.
It does. So your D8 plus your 4 still.
Yep. 10. So that's 32 points of damage total on that guy.
32?
22 plus 10 is 32.
Oh, yep. Sorry. I was looking at your last attack roll, not your last damage roll. I'm like, 18 plus 10 is not 32.
Hmm.
Yes. All right. He is significantly hurt. So as once again C comes darting out of the bushes and quickly stabs twice into the second Wraithheart with his rapier. Oh, that's actually 3, isn't it? Yeah, it is. Okay, that's fine. That's just for my tracking. The Wraithheart roars out in pain and kind of just... You could try to hide from him again if you want, but he is currently very aware of your presence.
I'll try.
All right. Bonus action hide.
It's a stealth check.
Yep.
19.
All right. I believe their passive perception, even with a +5, is not enough for that. Where are you? Here? Yes. Yeah, it's not enough. All right, so he does not see you.
In the back. And I still
Alrighty.
haven't said anything.
Yeah. Okay, so these guys then, not seeing C, are going to go for Belder. and each of them gets 2 attacks, and they are going to take them all. That is only a 9. Jeez, a 4 and a 6. That's only an 11. So I'm guessing those 2 miss. So he comes up to you with his sword drawn and just completely whiffs. This one is going to go around to your side and try and make an attack on you from there. And he gets flanking, but that is a crit fail and a... Oh, Jesus! I need to switch dice. That is another 9, even with advantage on his first one. And then the second...
I heard crit fail.
It was with advantage, so...
Okay.
Okay, the second one of those might hit. That is a 20 total.
The guy in front of me, that's not the guy that I just killed. That's
No, he has taken damage, but he is not dead.
Oh. I thought you said there was enough.
No, you killed one of them. There's 4 left. There were 5.
Oh, gotcha. Yeah,
He is heavily damaged, but he is not dead.
20. You said
So
20?
that was the total to hit, not damage. Does 20 hit? I'm assuming it does. I think yours is 19.
Oh. Plus 1 with armor.
That is factored in
Oh,
on
damn
that.
it.
Yeah, because the plate is 18 by default, and your defensive stance is a +1.
Got it. Yeah, that hits.
Alrighty. That is 8 points of slashing damage and 2 points of necrotic for a total of 10 points of damage. Third one is gonna come up to 2, 3, 4, 5, 6 to this side of you, and he is gonna make his 2.
Bring it.
Okay, all right. 3 and a natural 20, but it's not a crit because of your adamantine armor. So he, like the first one, just bounces harmlessly off of your adamantine plate, and then the second one he tries to drive it up underneath of your underarm. But the armor, the magical properties of the armor just deflect the blow so that it scrapes into the metal instead of flesh, meaning it is just a normal hit. So that is 6 points of slashing and 2 of necrotic for a total of 8. And then the final Wraithheart comes and surrounds you, getting advantage on his attacks. Another crit, reduced to a regular attack. So being surrounded by 4 Wraithhearts now, it is easier for them to just find those weak points in your armor. But as your armor is imbued with this power, none of the blows that would otherwise be fatal are able to find the weak points in your flesh. That is 10 points of slashing, and 6 points of necrotic for 16 total. But it is now your turn.
Ooh.
You can do
I
it.
know what I'm gonna do. I know what I'm gonna do. I'm going to cast Shatter as a 2nd level spell.
Nice.
Anybody within 10 feet is 3d8 plus 1 plus 1d8 per slow slot, so it's 2d8.
Yep.
So for a total of 5d8.
All right.
And then save is a half, and the save is it's a Constitution save.
Of DC 16?
DC, where's DC? Where's the
On
DC?
your spell page. It'll be near the top of
Oh,
the
14.
page.
That's it.
14? Really?
The saving throw DC up at the top right corner.
Damn. All right. That's not terrible. Anyway, so starting from the top and going clockwise, that is a failure at 5, a failure at 10, a success at 22, and that was cocked, and a failure at 12. So bottom one passes, the others all fail.
22.
So 22 points to 3 of them, which will kill the one directly above you that had already been injured. So that'll take him to 0. And then, let me see here. That's 2. Okay, so 2 is the one who succeeded. So he'll take 11 points, and the others will take 22. So you just you brace yourself and you with a great gesture just slam this magical energy down into the ground around you, and it kind of fizzles for a moment and then booms outward with this sonic blast that sends 2 of the Wraith Hearts reeling, just literally shatters one of them. You see him almost crack like glass and break before turning to dust. And then the 4th one kind of puts up an arm and sort of shields himself from the blast and manages to avoid the worst of it, but still takes a decent chunk of damage. Yeah,
Who's next?
kick ass. All right. And actually, emboldened by that, this merchant who has a small sword at his side is going to come up behind this Wraithheart and stab at it. And that'll actually hit.
I think it's advantage.
D6. Oh, yes, he does. Let's see if he crits. He does not crit. All
You
right,
already
and
used up all your
deals,
crit.
5 points of damage to that Wraithheart, who is 4. No, 5. All right. And he says, I can help too. As he skewers it, we're back to C.
All right, I come here. I'm going to start off with a sneak attack on the guy to my right,
Okay.
which is at advantage.
Yep.
Now that hits. Let's see if I can.
Point of
Yeah.
order. It is a sneak attack because it's advantage.
Except I can only do a sneak attack once per round, and I can take. I have advantage on attacks.
Right. It's when you
Otherwise.
have advantage. Which you do, which is why it's a sneak attack.
Sneak attack, it says once per turn, you can deal an extra 46.
And if you read a little bit further down, it says if you have advantage on the attack roll. And you don't need it if a target is within 5 feet, but you fulfill one of the criteria for the sneak attack.
Well, then I'm going to be getting sneak attacks on all of the... Okay.
Once per turn. Yeah.
That's what I'm saying is once per turn, so I have to pick which target or which attack I'm going to apply it to.
Yes.
Okay, so I'm attacking this guy first. I have chosen to add this... Yep, to add the sneak attack damage on this one, because I also think it makes sense since I'm coming out of hiding to do it.
All right.
And so that hits. Now I'm going to roll the damage on that, which is D8 plus 4 plus 4D6, which is 25 points of damage to that guy.
All right. He is still alive, but he is hurting bad.
All right.
He was the one that resisted the blast.
Yeah. Well, let's see. Let me think for a second.
To give you more information about your surroundings, with where you currently are, you would need to move before attempting to hide, and you cannot use your cunning action to disengage and hide, so you have to take an opportunity attack if you wanted to try and hide.
Yeah, I'm not going to, at this point, I'm not going to. I'm trying to decide which of the two Wraithhearts I'm going to try to finish off.
All right,
and
just making sure you have the info.
Yeah, is it possible that I can tell if one of them looks worse off than the other?
Yeah, the one you just hit currently looks the weakest of the 3.
Yeah. Okay. So I am going to attempt to attack him, and again at advantage. So 15 was the first attempt. 27 crit.
All right, with the crit, yeah, you get your. So it's max damage dice plus the roll, like we do in the normal campaign.
So that'd be D8 plus 4 plus 12.
Yep. Or a D8 plus 12. You don't add the bonus twice.
Well, would it be D8 plus 4 plus 8 then?
Yep. Either way.
Which is the same thing. Okay, you added it. Got it. Okay. D8 plus 4 plus 8. And that is 17 points of damage.
That is enough.
Okay.
All right. You rush out from the shadows, seeing your friend surrounded, and your new acquaintance.
I'm sure
Uh,
offensive.
yeah, and you just leap through the air and, like, while jumping, make two stabs quickly, one through each eye socket, just destroying that wraith heart forevermore. All right, it is their turn now, and one of them is going to turn towards the merchant and attempt to attack him, and he does hit,
Oh,
and
we
that
need him for
is
information.
that is
No.
9 points of damage total. So the merchant is, like, badly hurt after this strike, but he is still alive. Um, and the second attack is a miss. So he, like, takes a huge gash across his chest and then just, like, leaps backward as the wraith attempts to strike again, managing to dodge out of the way of the second stroke that would have ended his life. He's like, okay, maybe I can't help. Um, and then this other one is going to make is actually going to move and attack C. Now, he doesn't move out of Belder's range, so he doesn't take opportunity attacks. He's just kind of shifting through and then changing his focus to C. And that is an 18 to hit on the first attack.
Yep.
All right. 6 points of slashing damage and 4 points of necrotic for a total of 10.
Mm-hmm.
And then the second attack is only an 11, which I'm guessing is not a hit.
Nope.
All right, so the second one, you deftly dodge backwards and avoid the blade. Belder, you are up.
Yeah, I'm gonna take an attack. The guy that's opposite to the or the guy that is next to the merchant.
Okay.
The guy in flanking. With my my battle axe.
Gonna axe him. What you gonna axe him?
23.
That hits.
I'll see if I crit. Do I get advantage on both attacks?
Yes, with flanking you do.
Oh, yeah. So that's 24. So then it's the first attack is 9 damage.
Alrighty. He is still up. I believe that one is... Yeah, he's taken a little bit more damage, but not noticeably more. So, 9. So down there. 16 is a hit. 21 is also a hit. Not a crit, but good second roll.
14 damage.
Nice. That is enough, my friend. So you see him strike at the merchant, and you're like, not on my watch. And you just swipe your axe through him once, and then push forward with the sort of pike tip at the end of it, and spear through the Wraithheart's chest. And the shadowy energy that holds their life force just kind of spurts outward as he turns to dust, kind of falling away concentrically from the point of impact.
Concentrically.
It's the best term I had for it. It's not quite accurate, but close enough.
That's good.
All right, so he be dead, and there is one remaining, and it is C's turn. The merchant backs up and kind of collapses against the cart, like holds his wound, like, oh, that was a mistake. Oh. You could move for advantage.
I already have advantage.
How so?
I'm within pack something or other.
Oh,
I'm
you still have
5 feet.
sneak attack. You don't have advantage. Oh.
I do have advantage.
Yes, pack tactics. Thank you.
Yep.
You're right.
Yep,
I'm wrong.
All right. Does an 18 hit?
It do.
Okay, good. So I'm gonna. So that's my first attack. Let me just go ahead and load up the second attack that I plan on using on this one guy just in case. That's a crit. Okay. So the first attack, I'm going to do as a regular one.
Okay.
And just to see how he's doing. So roll d8 plus 4. That's 5 points of damage. Is he down?
No.
Okay, then the second one's a crit. Roll sneak attack.
So
d8
you don't need to roll.
plus 12 plus 4 d6 is 34 points of damage on the second one.
It's 8d6. Actually, it's 24 plus 4d6.
All right, okay. So
You
more
double
than
the sneak attack damage too.
Okay.
How do you want to do this?
I jump on his. So the first attack, I kind of,
Test poke.
test poke, and I see there's an opening. So I jump up, grab his neck, and shove my sword into his face.
All right, cool.
Down his throat. Into the back of his.
Yeah,
his
the
neck.
blade, I almost called you Morthos. Beldor. You could see as your friend just, leaps up and just, skewers his sword down, into the Wraith Heart. It kind of, opens its mouth to growl at him, eats 3 feet of steel, and you could see it kind of come out of the lower back and just, as it begins to turn to dust and dissipate, see just definitely 3-point lands on the ground after slaying the beast.
And
All
this
right.
kobold in plain hands.
And we are out of combat.
Baldur, do you have any medicine?
I'll go ahead and say, because you all are pretty seasoned adventurers, you've got a couple healing potions on you.
Great. I'm gonna give a healing potion to this guy, and Baldur, we gotta ask this guy what happened.
What's the regular? Is it 2d4
Yeah.
plus 2? Healing potion 5e, 2d4 plus 2. Yeah.
Can he take half one and I take half one?
Sure. I'll let you split it. So each of you can take a d4 plus 1.
Yep.
I suppose I'm okay.
Alright, he gets 5 HP back. So the wound kind of... there's a lot of scar tissue, but it kind of knits itself back up. Alright, so he kind of... thanks. Is everybody okay? And you hear a couple of voices from inside. 2 of them just kind of scared, muttering. One of them, an older-sounding woman's voice, says, "Yes, we're all right. I think everybody's okay."
Sir, what happened here?
What happened is you saved our lives. Had you not come along, I don't think we would have survived. I couldn't even fend one of them off, let alone 5.
So were they following you? Were they with you this whole time? Did you flee the town?
Town. What town?
What was your business on the road, if I may ask, and what route were you on?
We're traveling to Fortsel from Opetro. This road met up with the main one, and we thought it might be faster.
So you're just in the wrong place at the wrong time, then.
They burst out of the woods over there, took us completely by surprise, knocked over the cart, scared the horse off. I don't know if we'll be able to get him back anytime soon, but I think he shouldn't have gone far. He's well trained.
What city did we just...
You were in Valenford.
Valenford. Okay.
However, you two, out of character, are familiar with Fortsel and Opetro both.
Yep.
And it does geographically line up.
This was the only Wraith Hearts you saw on your travels?
So far, yes. I hope we don't see any more.
I have a question about
Gods
the
forgive us.
wagon tracks. So we were tracking wagon tracks to this point.
Yep.
So is this a different wagon track coming into this point? And then
It
if we look
is.
beyond, we see the wagon tracks pick up again?
Yep.
Okay.
Yeah.
And
As they'd been kind of broken up, you assume that this one had joined those tracks at some point, and you just didn't notice outright.
have you come across any other travelers on this road other than the Wraithards?
Uh, not for 3 days. A couple of days ago, when we were still on the main road, we came across another couple of merchants, but nothing out of the ordinary. They seem to just be waiting there. I don't
Yeah.
know.
Yeah, I would.
Go ahead.
I would uh, stay low on your travels to Apatro. We don't know. It's been pretty dangerous.
Yes,
Of late.
I suppose we hadn't considered just how dangerous. We might stop by a town and hire a guard.
Yes, I think you should do that, and I think you're going to a major town. Ultimately, you should spread the word of what you've seen with these
Yeah.
really wild creatures. We call them wraith hearts.
Fitting name.
Tell people what you saw.
I will.
And they're fighting the Danish army.
I must have misheard you. You said they're fighting for the Danish army?
We have compelling evidence that they are being used to fight in place of soldiers on behalf of the Danish kingdom. They fight for the crown.
I might have to keep that to myself. But thank you
That
for
may be
telling me.
wise. That may be wise. For now, it is sufficient to spread the word that you're seeing this and to warn others. If they see anything like this, just get away from them.
Aye. That I'll do.
What are you selling? What kind of merchant are you?
I am mostly a tailor. But I deal in some cobblery as well. I can fix up a leather boot as well as the best of them. However, I should thank you for saving my life, and I don't think you'd have use of any of my typical wares. But I was given something by an old friend, and I think it might serve you better than I. And he kind of stands up and goes around to the back of the caravan, and pulls out a bag that he kind of sets on the overturned body of it, opens it up, and pulls out what looks like just a rock in his hand, but he turns it around, and you can see a glyph inscribed in the rock, filled with this sort of bright yellow pigment. And he walks back around the cart and proffers it to you, and he says, "I was told, although it apparently only works once, so I haven't tried it. But I was told that this can stop magic in an area for a brief time. There's something magical going on and you want to shut it down. This is the key."
Elder, do you know how to operate one of these?
I mean, I'm familiar with some stonework, but I'm not sure how to operate this.
It has a command word. I'll write it down for you.
Got it. Thank you.
And he hands
I'm
that
not good at
over.
reading runes. Thank you
And
so much, sir.
pulls out a little piece of parchment and writes a word on it, tears it, and hands that over to you as well. It reads Feldecor. I'll put that in chat.
And I will. Do you mind if I take possession of this rock, Elder?
Yeah, that's fine with me. I usually like to keep my any stone that I carry around would have to have some better craftsmanship inscribed into it than this. I feel like I could have done a better job.
Well,
Okay.
craftsmanship aside, hopefully it helps you.
I think it's always handy to be able to shut down magic. Thank you. This could come in very handy, especially
Indeed.
seeing some of what we've been seeing. Well,
safe travels. I'm sorry we can't help you more than this. I don't
That's all
know
right.
how to
You've
pull a
helped me more
horse
than
or
anyone ever has.
okay. Well, we do need to get on and try to catch up with these other tracks that we've been
Of
following.
course.
So I'm sorry to rush off, but we should keep moving.
No. Safe travels to you as well. And he you hear him start whistling for the horse, and some of the others get up and start setting to work, righting the cart.
You said you have clothing and such in your
Oh,
store.
yes.
I might have a need for an outfit. I'm not sure how useful it's going to be walking around looking like a Danish soldier right now.
That's fair. Well, give me a hand with this real quick, and I can get you something out. So
Okay.
he and the others that were in the cart kind of set to the carton with a place for you. Go ahead and make an athletics check. I actually have no idea what Belder's strength is like. I don't think it's great. Oh no, wait, he's a strength fighter. Never mind, it's good. +4.
Yeah. Oh, you said a what check?
Athletics. So you got a +7
athletics.
to that.
7. Holy moly. Whoops. Accidentally gave me an 8. 27.
All right. Yeah. You take the brunt of the work. The two who were not the old woman who is a little bit too infirm to fight. Um, like they're teenagers, so they're like getting to get a little bit of muscle, but they're not strong. The merchant is decently strong, but you are like taking the brunt of this as you kind of push upward on the cart and then like shift your weight underneath of it and shoulder it upward, um, and you're able to pull the cart upright with the help of the others as well. And the merchant kind of heads inside and says, uh, well, you can take a look, whatever catches your fancy, uh, on the house. You know, you've. I wouldn't be here right now if you hadn't come along.
I'm just looking for something to make myself a little bit more inconspicuous
Sure.
to the Danish.
You find a simple, like probably neutral sort of greenish brown tunic, and some basic trousers, um, and a light overcoat as well to help against the rain.
Yeah, that's fine.
Alrighty. You doff your armor, put that on, and you all are back on the road.
Wait! You're taking your armor off? You sure you want to do that? As we're in hot pursuit of an enemy.
I was thinking.
If you're looking for something more like an overcoat, if you're looking for something more like an overcoat, he's got that too. That will look less conspicuous than armor, but not inconspicuous.
I mean, you might just look like my hired goon or something. That's fine, right? We're gonna look conspicuous traveling like this no matter what, but at least you won't look like Danish soldiery. But you won't look like Danish soldiery. Frankly, I'm not sure you'd be mistaken for it now.
Okie dokie.
Okay, cool. Well, we'll kind of just say you find something suitable. You won't blend in perfectly in a crowd, but it'll be decent enough. Alrighty. So let's see.
As long as you're with me, you'll be conspicuous.
Yeah,
Okay.
traveling alongside a Google.
I can take you to places where I fit in just fine.
All right.
I can take you to places I fit in just fine with some beautiful stonework that is matched by no one.
Chichester Cathedral.
A dwarvish cathedral.
Shall we continue our pursuit?
Indeed.
All right.
So, 3 more days pass as you are traveling southward and eastward. Actually, wait. Go ahead and roll survival checks for me, both of you. That might adjust by a -1 if you roll well.
24.
That's well. All right, so 2 more days, and you catch up with this caravan. You see them well before they see you, as they are 6 pretty large wagons with twice as many horses. Um, so, as you are, how far behind them do you wish to stay? You can
Other-
easily see them from a quarter mile.
Yeah, that might be a sufficient distance for now to lead to. I want to get close enough that we can size up who, what, who or what is in this caravan
Hmm.
and what their capabilities are. But I don't want to be seen or heard.
Okay. Um, as you are getting closer to a little bit more of a wooded area, it is easy for you to get a bit closer without giving away your position. The road kind of carves through, and the trees are sparse enough that you could still see a good distance, but you have enough cover so that you could start doing kind of what you're going for. So go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Checking the 17.
Okay, so from afar, what you can tell is they're not moving particularly quickly, and part of that is because not everyone is on a horse. The caravans seem to be carrying some people. Sometimes you couldn't really tell exactly what else might be carried in there, but you can see foot soldiers walking alongside them. Um, there are maybe a dozen guards. Uh,
Can I tell if they're people or wraith hearts?
these look to be human. They seem to have solid form. But it is a little bit difficult to be completely sure because the black armor of the Danish army is not
Right.
super distinct from a Wraithheart's black form. But you're reasonably confident they are human or humanoid. Um, in addition, you can see that at any time there's no fewer than 4 guards around the middle wagon. That seems to have whatever is the most precious within the caravan. You would know from just general context and in your job. Um, yeah, it looks like too many to take on outright is probably your appraisal of the
Yes.
situation.
And in Felder's with me
Hmm.
by my side for okay. So you get to hear and see what I hear and see. What do you think, Felder?
And they're going to be heading into the capital, or is that the direction they're going in?
They are heading towards the capital still. Yes, you are probably still 3 or 4 days out. Not 100% sure. Something like that.
And it's all Wraithhearts, yeah.
No, it seems actually to be more human than Wraithheart here.
Oh, interesting.
I thought that we did not have evidence of wraith hearts.
That's what I said. It seems to be mostly human.
Okay.
Oh, that's interesting. I'm not sure. I think maybe we hold back and tail them and see if we can.
Actually, you're still pretty far from Toliskir. I had a condensed view of the geography in my mind. It's still a decent ways away. But they are on that path. They're going that direction.
So Balder, you're thinking about waiting for an opportunity or creating one? At this
Yeah,
speed,
either
we
or.
could get ahead of them and set a trap ahead in the road or make their path even more difficult by doing something up ahead. We can also wait for an opportunity. I'm looking at that target with the 4 guards, thinking if we can cause some kind of distraction, I'd like to get at whatever's in there.
Yeah, are there any rivers, bridges, or anything like that that are on the way to the capital?
Yes, you are. So, let me see here. I would say both of you make survival checks, just for general knowledge of the landscape in the area. Um, Both of you, being pretty well traveled, have a decent chance of figuring this, like knowing this. So,
28.
3.
all right. Yeah, this just wasn't where you were deployed ever, Belder. So it's just not.
Here's
It's
the
not a part of
capital.
the. Yeah, it's not part of the land you're really familiar with. But C, you've been in this area a good bit actually, traveling to and from a few of the smaller cities in sort of the plains area and on the edge, and you're pretty familiar with the lay of the land. Um, this road, about half a day or so forward, intersects with a very large river, and there's only a couple of bridges nearby. One of them is on the path to this road, and then another one is like a few miles down, towards a town that was abandoned after the scouring, and never refounded. There's not really a road leading up to it. There's just sort of a small town on both sides of the river.
So
We could booby trap the bridge to collapse as they're crossing.
that would probably hurt all of the good people inside the carts and the horses. We could collapse it before they get there, which would waylay them.
That's fair.
At that point, they're more disorganized. They're going to have to stop and scout ahead for an alternative route, which will disorganize them, spread them out a bit, and that may create an opportunity while they're resting, trying to figure that out.
Sure. That sounds like a plan.
It's a bit of a gamble, though. We also don't know what kind of resources we get from those soldiers.
At least increases our odds.
Yeah. Ultimately, what is our goal?
Actually, I probably should have given a little bit more to you in the beginning, C, because you actually have a set goal. As you were sent with the knowledge that Christoph, this general, was doing something in that town. They wanted you to find out precisely what that was and bring back evidence of his nefariousness.
Ah,
Who wants to bring back evidence of it?
C.
Who wants you to bring back evidence of
Oh,
it?
who wants you? There is well, C may or may not tell you this, but you're basically part of a faction of Danish resistance.
yeah, I would tell him that by now. I'm sure we're on the same side here.
Yeah,
I would
and
tell
that
him
faction of Danish resistance has been emboldened by the actions of one called Morthos, who has very vehemently been spreading the word of the misdoings of the Danish king.
It all started when I read this brochure thing by Cranmore. This group of people. Yeah. Anyway, and the injustice of Morthos and his family's demise. Quite a compelling set of stories. These characters, and if they're to be believed, and I think they are, then yeah. He even goes on about this one guy that Christoph. There's a mention of him, but nothing else. But I heard rumor after the events of this. I don't have it on me, but after the events of the brochure, I heard rumor that this group was then caught up in Apatro during the Great Battle of Apatro and the Siege of the Worm. Christoph was also there.
The Siege of the Worm is actually the canon name for that battle. I don't know if I'd mentioned that before and you were remembering, Dennis, but if not, you got that spot on.
Yeah.
Nice.
So we don't have all of the, who is and what for and what's going on behind some of those things. I mean, some of that did not make sense. So we're still trying to understand some of that, but some things do make sense. Christoph is not a good guy. You probably have. I mean, you were in the army, right? You may have heard stories of this guy's leadership, how he operates. Is it something?
Roll a history check, Belder.
23.
Oh yeah. Actually, like, you've heard that he was a war criminal, and like that he was imprisoned many years ago for his blatant disregard for rules of engagement, um, and that he was only recently let out on a. So what it was told to you as was he was let out because there was none other who could command the unwavering loyalty of his troops. Uh, that was how it was put to you. But you had heard the whispers that it wasn't loyalty so much as just batshit terror.
Yeah, he definitely considers his entire army expendable.
And we have evidence that they are, and they are being expended and replaced with these wraith hearts. So I have my whispers and information sent me to that burnt out husk of a town, and now we're following what's left of the citizenry in these carts. I don't know why they're the citizens are being rounded up and taken to the capital, but I'm particularly interested in what they're guarding, those soldiers. So, out of character, I noticed that you gave C an alignment of lawful neutral.
Mm-hmm.
So, I'm trying to make sure I play that okay in the decisions that are made here.
If
So,
you want to tweak that a bit, it's fine. It was just what I had in mind. It can change.
so I think I know what the target is here though. So, I'm back in character. So, I think it is good form to spare the horses and citizens, um, but we really need to find out what's what's being protected in this caravan and why.
Okay. So maybe we spread it out and try to cause some disruption and
Yeah. So what could happen is if you can lay it, if so, stopping the road, maybe you lay a distraction while I sneak in and grab stuff and go. We can. The two of us alone can't take them. An alternative is we try to find allies that can take them, take on the fight with us.
yeah.
I don't know how feasible that is, and that's not the kind of thing that I'm good at. But you might be interested in something like that.
Yeah, well, I know a lot of those men that are holding those sigils. They probably won't be holding them anymore, at least not alive.
Do you think they'd listen to you?
They may listen to the babblings of a dwarf, possibly.
I mean, you fought
But I
alongside
think
them.
yeah, I do have some friends. I'm sure I have some friends in there.
Is this a check we can try for, Matt? Any kind of intuition of
I'm
whether
trying to
this is
figure out what that might be.
Yeah. An insight check to determine if there's a reasonable possibility that to try to foment rebellion within the ranks of this caravan?
Yeah. Yeah, go ahead and make an insight check for me.
Show thing. $15.
The biggest issue you'd come across is that if it really is Kristoff here, it is going to be hard to overcome the fear that he instills in the ones around him.
Mm.
They are probably more afraid of him than of most anything else.
I am a deserter too.
Yeah. And like they're, especially being under Kristoff, their loyalty might hang by a thread, but it would be hard to convince them even altogether that they'd be able to escape his wrath.
Rumors may be true, but you think I'm gonna double cross that guy?
I will. That's why I came this far.
So what's the
Well,
plan?
I say we take
I
out
think-
that bridge ahead first so they can't keep going. They will be slowed. They will be disorganized. Some of them will have to scout out. It gives us an opportunity to attack with some advantage at our central target. What do you think, Baldur?
Yeah, I think that's a way to go, and we can see what we can get ourselves into there.
I do have a gut. So out of character, my gut is a little bit concerned about. I'm not picturing the reality of this. There's two of us and a bunch of them. So, I've got an idea in my head of some of the ways things could happen, but I don't know if I'm totally off base with, the challenge that we're getting into here.
Yeah. I mean, so the things that you, Dennis, have in your head are probably pretty similar to the things that C would have in his. And the best way to figure out, is to try it. It very well might be your best bet. You don't know if all of them are going to scatter or if they might stay together, but you won't know it until they're in that situation.
Right. So, Baldur, we're going to be able to call it off if we need to. So the first thing we do is we can cause this chaos, and we're going to have to play it by ear a little bit. If it creates an opportunity, great. If not, we're going to have to look for another one or create another opportunity.
Sure.
Sometimes it can be as simple as waiting for when they're all resting at night, asleep, and there's a few guards on duty, and try to get them out real quick and quietly. But one thing for sure is I really want to slow down their progress to buy us some time. And I got the character again, Matt. There's that one main bridge, and then they would otherwise get.
There's a few miles away, a deserted town. It's not super well known, so they'd have to go there and find it. They wouldn't know to be there already. It's a few miles downriver.
Okay.
Is this town on the other side of the Deadwood?
No, actually. You have not yet crossed the Deadwood.
So, Baldur, should we do it?
Let's do it.
All right.
Oh, actually, wait. No, the Deadwood is. Sorry, I thought my mind interpreted that as the Indigo Wood, which is the forest that's actually quite close to you. The Deadwood is the other side of Dain.
Yeah, I was thinking of Lila.
Yeah.
Yeah. You know what I mean? Lila.
Yeah, Lila's pretty far.
So we're on the move now to that bridge to take it out.
Alrighty. Go ahead and make stealth checks to get around them without being seen. And still maintain a pace that'll get you there first.
Thanks.
25.
All right. The average was better than their perception check. So with Baldur kind of not super used to moving quickly and stealthily, it's difficult for him at first, and there's a few near misses, but C is able to kind of notice and see the danger and kind of adjust for it and make sure that Baldur is going first, kind of picking out steps for Baldur to take that will not break a branch underfoot or anything like that. And yeah, you hold on. No one wants to hear that. Yeah, so you're able to keep pace and get ahead of the caravan, moving towards this bridge, which you get to in about 4 hours. And you don't have super long, but you have maybe half an hour to an hour before they arrive.
What's the what kind of bridge is it?
It is
like a stone
wood.
bridge or wood bridge. Oh, why they don't make these things out of stone? Way better.
Just set it on fire. Break it.
All right, let's do that.
I made it out of wood, so it was easy to destroy. You're welcome.
Thank you.
Even a stone bridge often has like a bit of a wood frame.
Yeah,
that can,
that's true.
It can get weakened, and then you take out this and that and have it collapse. But
Yeah.
4 hours is not a long time on a stone bridge to take it out.
Mm-mm.
So thank you for the kindness.
You're welcome.
All right,
All right.
Balder, please do the honors.
All right. You
I,
have.
I light it on fire.
Yeah, I was gonna say you've got enough magic that you can conjure a flame that burns it. Um, the the bridge catches and begins to alight. And within a few moments, it is a roaring blaze. Uh,
Yeah, we got to get out of this area though. They're going to be looking around this.
I'm gonna say for ease's sake, um, yeah, the rain has abated. It's not raining anymore, and it wasn't raining here, so it's dry wood and it burns easily.
We start burning from underneath.
Start burning it from underneath.
Scattered
Kate wants to know if you're making it look like a natural disaster or trying to make it like obviously sabotage.
We don't have time. They're going to interpret it how
It's
they
gonna
interpret
look
it.
what like it looks like. Sure.
Damn lightning.
All right.
I mean, if you can, Balder, if you can conjure lightning to do it, that
Actually,
would be
I
super.
think you can. I think I gave you. Did I give you lightning bolt?
I think so.
I know you have lightning lore, which I'll let that work at a pinch. But
Okay, let's go to accident.
oh yeah, lightning lore. All right.
Okay,
It's gonna look like lightning struck it.
excellent.
So yeah. Baldur just like gets underneath of the bridge and calls the lore from above him, which acts like a lightning strike hitting the center of the bridge, and it catches fire and begins to burn.
I did not know you could do that.
That is also a cantrip, so you don't have to mark off a spell slot. Good for you. You guys did get long rest between last battle and now, by the way, so you can make sure to take that.
Yeah, you mentioned it was a couple days.
Yeah. Yep. Cool. So yeah, where are you lying in wait?
In the direction of that other town and bridge.
Okay. So
Not too far away. We don't. I want to stay in some view of this burnt out bridge. I want to see the caravan come and see what direction they go in
All right.
and how they adapt. So not too far away.
Maybe a football field would be about as far as you could get and still get decent visual acuity on it.
Yeah.
So going about 100 yards downriver, you kind of set yourselves up and cover yourselves in brush and leaves to appear rather inconspicuous among the woodland. And lo and behold, about 20 minutes after you've set yourselves up, the caravan comes rumbling down the road, and you see the full 6 cart section sort of stop. The lead wagon calling the halt, and go ahead and make perception checks for me, both of you.
$27.
Not 27. I didn't see it.
9.
Well, as C is just more trained in this, and it is kind of his wheelhouse. With the eyes of a hawk, C is able to take in most of the details of what's going on with the caravan. You see something kind of interesting, C. See here, see? You watch as one of the guards from the lead, who was kind of driving the horse, gets down from his seat and walks back past the middle cart to the 5th one, and leans in, and you hear him say something, and a pair of figures gets out from that cart. It's hard to make out details, but one of them seems to be carrying a box and a staff. As the
Unlike
two,
that we saw back in town.
yeah, as the two of them emerge from this 5th cart, not the one guarded by the most guards, They walk to the front of the caravan and kind of survey the damage. You hear the one not carrying the staff and the might be hard to tell the source, but yeah, whatever. The one not carrying the staff in the box kind of barks an order, and you see several of the guards from all of the carts sort of come up and circle around, and he points off in a couple of directions, and you see them begin to disperse um, in groups of three. Uh, the guards kind of split out. There's, as I mentioned before, 12 of them. So four groups of three kind of split out and go out across the landscape to the south, southeast, south, southwest, west, and northwest. And then Kristoff and this other person with the box and staff, you assume the other one's Kristoff anyhow, they start heading north away from you.
On the opposite side of where we are.
I can draw it out real quick. Let me screen share.
I'm not exactly sure where we're hiding.
Yeah, I'm gonna draw it out for you. So let me share this. Effectively, not that. So the river is kind of here, right? The bridge you blew out is here, kind of fucked up in the middle. You have a good bit of like greenery sort of surrounding along the edge here. You all are positioned in the brush kind of right around here.
Okay.
Okay.
And then
north.
right. So guards went this way, this way, this way, and this way. And then Kristoff and his resident douchebag went
Douche box.
this way. Yes.
Opposite direction.
So does that kind of make it a little bit more clear?
Yes.
How wide is this river?
At its narrowest point where the bridge is, I'd say it's about 30 feet. Where you are, it's more like 50. We do silver.
I feel like we probably should have gotten to the other side of the bridge before we burned it.
It could be a deep, strong river. I wouldn't want to try to cross it casually.
Fair.
I mean, looking at it, it's not super, like the current doesn't seem super strong. There's no white water, and there are rocks sticking up to kind of give you a sense of current flow. It's not slow, but you could swim across it. Depth is harder to tell.
What we could do is wait for the scouts or soldiers to pass us. Just lay low, lay quiet. Once they've passed us and they're behind us, we're behind them, right? Then we head north and sneak to catch up to the folks with the box.
Is that the only people there, or are there more people there?
There's still the caravan.
Those are the only people you've seen get out and walk around.
Right.
You don't know exactly what's in the caravan.
Does it look like they're setting up a perimeter, or do they look like they're scouting far for alternative routes?
How long are you waiting to observe that?
A couple minutes.
Within a couple minutes, that group is going to get to you and pass you. So let's resolve that bit, and then after that bit's resolved, I'll tell you what it looks like.
Okay.
Sound reasonable, or do you think that you'd be able to, or do you think you'd try and look before they got to you?
I'm a little wary of trying to push our luck with sneaking under less than ideal circumstances.
Okay.
Sure.
So if they are going around looking for stuff, I don't want to be part of in their field of looking for things.
Sure.
So we should lay low.
Okay. So go ahead and make stealth checks for me with advantage, as you had time to sort of get yourselves prepared.
I keep forgetting I gave it +0. Like, every time.
23.
4.
With advantage?
With advantage.
That's only 105.
Ah!
All right.
That's a
5.
what?
Um.
Can I see that he's bad at this and can I see that he's bad at this?
That was kind of the point of the advantage, but if you can come up with something creative, I'll let it help.
Because if he's bad at this, I am going to be sneaking away from him so that he will be the one drawing attention on him only. And
Okay.
therefore, I'm going to be like, "You're a distraction now. Do it on purpose."
All right. Cool.
They're going to see you. Do with that information what you will, and I sneak off.
All right. I do not have a map prepared for this one, so we're just gonna, if we get into a combat here, we're just gonna theater of the mind it.
Okay.
So yeah, they definitely they hear a rustling in the bushes, and Baldur, they definitely look over in your direction, and they're a little bit far away to be sure that you are a dwarf right now, but they're staring right at you. What do you want to do?
Say, hey gentlemen, got a little lost there coming away from the Danish army. How's it going?
You were fleeing the Danish army.
No, I just got lost in part of the army. What's inside?
I see.
There's a bit of chaos back there, so
why does it look like you're hiding under that bush? Kind of looks like you.
I didn't know who you guys were, and I saw the bridge burning, and I didn't want to find myself in a precarious position.
You saw the bridge burning. Make a deception
Well,
check
it is
for me.
burning right now. Huh?
Make a deception check for me.
That was -1. 12.
All right. So you saw the bridge and you saw us, and you didn't know who we were, so you came here and hid.
Yep.
All right. Well, fair enough. Where were you headed?
Over to the capital.
Oh.
Figured I'd be able to meet everybody back up.
Well, we're going that way as well. Why don't you join up with us?
Sure.
All right. He reaches a hand down to help you up.
Thank you.
And pulls you to your feet. We're trying to find another way around this river now that the bridge is burned out. You want to help us look?
Sure. My understanding of this area is not too great.
Well, neither is ours. We're not sure. We were just gonna kind of spread out and see what we could find. We were gonna, keep heading along the riverbank, see what we can find. If there's another bridge nearby, maybe.
Sure.
All right.
Lead the way.
All right. So, they start walking. What are you doing, C?
I heard the conversation, right?
Yeah.
Good. Okay. Well, that's convenient that he's going to just be in there, and there. So that should be a lot easier for me to sneak around now, right?
Possibly, yeah.
So because they're going to say, "Oh, we got the whatever guy sneaking." So I'm going to try to sneak north to where that box is.
The box is with the guy who went with Kristoff northward. Okay, cool.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So as the triplet passes you, you continue northward with kind of following in the footsteps of the others.
Just so I'm clear, did Baldur go south with those guys or head back to the
South.
Oh, he's continuing south. Oh boy, that's okay. That's not what I was picturing.
They are going along the riverbank from where they started.
And
Yeah.
how long are we traveling before we found something?
Couple miles.
Yeah. Okay, you know
Right.
he comes back because I
Sorry.
can't take. I don't want to break up the group. You know, it's not going to be me versus whatever's, you know, whatever's there.
And how many people am I with?
2.
Oh, you know what? I'm actually
Um,
going to sneakily follow the 3 of them,
Okay.
and until they get far enough away that they're out of earshot of everyone else.
Cool. Sounds good.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
There we go.
All
That's
right, I got you.
that's what I thought you were thinking.
Sorry, it took me a second. We got to get send as a spell.
So, C like starts going northward, and then it's like, shit, he was trying to open up an opportunity for me, and turns back south and starts following the group of them.
Yep.
Um,
So we'll wait till we're at an appropriate distance away from everything, so no one can hear the sounds of the screaming.
Excellent. All right, cool. Yeah. So we're gonna let the I've talked about this rule sometime before with you two. Um, and in this case, I wouldn't say that this happens like every time we're going into a quote unquote combat, but because they're trusting of the person that they just came upon and are not expecting anything, you can basically just coup de grace one of them with a sneak attack C, as long as you succeed on a stealth check, which I think you already
Sure,
have. So
Yeah,
I probably want to converse with them just for a moment, see if I can.
yeah, you've got a bit of time as C goes the wrong direction first and then turns around to come follow you.
So, what brings you guys? What's sending you guys over to the capital?
Honestly, I don't really
Were you in
know.
that mess up north?
We came in after. It was weird. We came to the town and there was like nobody around, except for Kristoff and a couple others. And we were told to take Kristoff and his adjutant and just take them back to the capital. I don't really know what was going on there. Adjutant had some weird box with him. I
Yeah,
learned a while ago not to question what Kristoff does.
guy gives me the willies.
Me too, but well, he's Kristoff. Can't really do much about it.
That's true.
Yeah, I just hope this war's over with soon.
whichever one was
Tell me
not
about
talking just sort of falls down.
Okay.
Like you don't even see me. You see. Whoop.
Yeah, just thump. Frank, are you all right? I don't know why his name is Frank. I just decided that. It was weird.
It humanizes him.
Yeah.
Pick up my battle axe and attack that guy.
Ah! All right, go ahead and roll for an attack.
$19.
Yeah, that hits.
16 damage.
Let me see here. These are just run-of-the-mill soldiers. I'm trying to remember
Okay.
what their HP is.
He's going into his library to figure out the HP of a soldier. Something's fishy.
I was already in my library. Well, it's just a matter of, is it one attack, or does it take a little bit more than that?
And why are you not wearing a smoking jacket?
Yeah, it's gonna take a bit more than that. I thought there was a specific... Oh, there we go, yeah. Alright. So he is a veteran. So he has a decent chunk of hit points. So he takes that first hit, and it's like... goes for his sword, but you get your second attack as well.
Yeah. 26. Does that hit?
Hits. No, this is a Tarask veteran.
uh,
Its AC is 30.
15 damage.
All right. In response, he will take 2 swipes at you with his longsword as he draws it from its sheath. Well, that's pretty good. 22 to hit.
Yep, it hits.
6, 7, 8, 9 points of damage. And the second one, is a crit fail. So I need to reroll for him. That's that.
See, 9 points.
Huh?
You said 9 points.
Yeah, 9 points of damage. And then with the second one, he overcommits in his panic and stumbles and falls prone. All right, we're back to C. We're gonna just take that initiative order.
Yeah, I'm gonna stab him prone.
All right, cool. Yeah, so it's an auto crit. Oh no, wait, it's not an auto crit. But it is advantage, so you get sneak attack.
Well, so I'm rolling to hit on with advantage. So 26.
That hits.
Yeah, not a crit. Okay. But that was a sneak attack on the first one. Plus D8 plus 4 plus 4d6 is. That's weird. I got 12 points, but didn't roll the 46. So let me try that again. 12
Oh,
plus.
you didn't have a plus.
Ah! Bunch of ones.
Wow.
Okay. So that's 19 on the first attack.
He is just hanging on.
Okay.
Pardon me.
$25 on the second attack to hit,
The second
and
one hits.
that's 11 points of damage on the
Okay.
second hit.
So, he falls trying to cut at Morthos, and C just descends upon him with 2 quick jabs to the back of the neck, and he stops moving. All right, those guards are neutralized.
All right, should we head north?
You want to do that again? What's your plan, man?
Just do that with each group.
Help me, I'm lost. Let's have a
I did
conversation.
what I could with what I got. So I'm not very quiet, man. I'm a bit clunky. You know, when you got strength like mine that can hit the stone and make it beautiful like no one else.
Aye.
And that's what you get.
I hope that comes in handy at some point. So we should head back north and scope out what's going on to see make sure they're scouting, not just setting up a perimeter.
Alrighty.
If they've got a wide perimeter, we may systematically go taking out their perimeter. But I want to focus on that box and the 2 people with it. So what I like to do is maybe even go around the long way, not up and through the caravan, but around a little bit, but behind the guards that were.
Yeah,
Should we
they've
walk
gone
away?
far enough now that you can make a skirt
Okay.
around the caravan.
So yeah, I want to make a beeline around skirting the caravan and going north to find those 2 guys.
Okay. As you skirt the caravan, make a perception check.
Sure thing.
22. Does Baldur also perceive?
I was looking in the rolling channel. I haven't seen it yet. 22 is enough though. So you don't need to roll if you don't want to.
Oh, 19.
19. Sorry, I was hitting
Ah,
command shift, command tab to go in between things. I'm like, why is this not working?
All right. So with a 20, I still don't see your roll, but you said it was a 19.
Yeah,
I
19.
see it now. I see it in roll 20.
Yeah.
Cool.
Oh, should I go back to the other rolling channel?
No, I think I was actually misseeing Dennis's as the one in the rolling channel, but he rolled in roll 20 as well. That's my
Mhm.
bad. Yeah. So both of you hear nothing as you're going past the caravan. All the guards have left, but you still you don't hear any signs of anyone else within the caravan.
Um, that bugs me. I want to take a peek.
Okay.
Very, very carefully.
So there are 6 carts. Kristoff and the other one got out of the 5th. The most guarded one was the 4th, and the others were all same as far as you could tell.
And
So
Which-
let's look at the
there's
fifth.
nobody guarding these caravans at all right now.
Nope, all of the guards left.
I'll take a look at the fifth one first.
Okay.
I'll keep one.
Make an investigation check. I will tell you immediately as you look in, you see nobody and nothing.
Okay, I got a 5, so whatever.
All right. You don't even
It's dark.
You look inside and you're like, it's just empty. There's nothing. You don't even go in and look further.
That's a little weird.
Let's look at the fourth one.
It is. Go ahead and make another investigation check, and you can help too, Balder or Balder. I don't even know. I don't know how Rob wanted it said, and I'm just gonna go with Balder.
I rolled a 1.
If
But it's a
Balder
skill
wants
feat.
to help, you can help.
Okay.
Can't get the door open. No.
Hit my head. Trying to look up into the cart.
I believe yours is a +3, Beldar.
Oh, my perception.
Yeah, your investigation.
Yes. Oh, investigation. Yeah, +3. You want me to roll investigation?
Sure.
Mm-hmm.
If you want to help him.
9.
Okay.
You're bad
Empty.
at this part.
Up them and roll a 9.
It was better than a
So-
1. It's empty.
Something's fishy here.
Oh yeah.
You know that piece of stone that merchant gave us to dispel magic?
You want to use it now, or wait until we deal with the guys at the box?
There might be something hidden in there with magic. I mean, why would they be guarding empty caravans? That's
All right. What the hell? Easy come, easy go. Fell decor.
You see the stone begin to glow yellow, and
This is inside the cart, by the way. So
this pulsating light begins to grow in radius until it envelops the cart, and it actually it bursts through to the outside. It doesn't break anything, but it warps through the walls and kind of contains the entire cart. And you actually do see something. Where there was nothing before, so there's 2 benches lining the side, and then there's sort of the back wall of the cart. And on that back wall, where there was nothing before, suddenly popping into visibility is a strongbox.
ooh, what's in it?
It does seem to be locked.
what's a
But the other guy
strong
walked
box?
away with a box. The other guy
This
walked
is
away with
a
a box.
So he walked away with more like a briefcase type box and quite large. This is
Okay.
a small iron lockbox.
Hold on, can you open that?
Most certainly can try. Is there like a lock on the outside, or is it like one of those locks that are latched to attached to the box?
There's
I've got thieves' tools.
It's a keyhole on the outside. You do have thieves' tools.
Can I use them?
Yes, you can.
How do I do that? Sleight of hand?
You roll a sleight of. Actually, no. I think it's a. Is it sleight of hand? I think it's sleight of hand. And I think you add, or is it Dex and proficiency if you're proficient with them, which you are. I think it's the latter. I think it's your Dex bonus plus your proficiency bonus.
Okay. 20.
All right. Yeah. So that's actually the DC of the lock. So you struggle with it for a bit, and it's like at the tip of your skills. Um, but you are able eventually to kind of, after a few tries where you kind of get the positions of each tumbler, you go back through with one final go, and you manage to trip them all and twist the lock open. As you open the box, inside is held a folded up sheet of paper.
It says Wraith Army nearly ready for deployment. Uth Tertalis.
It does not, actually. In fact, it has very few words on it at all. As you unfold it, it seems to be a schematic for some kind of device. And there is kind of a series of arcane runes written around a stone that goes in the center. And it is difficult to, like, you can't make out exactly what they might mean or what they might be for. But it seems to be whatever is powering the thing that the schematic is for. And then the rest of it is this sort of weird concentric orb, a set of concentric orbs, each with kind of different gaps in them that are sort of interconnected by what look like movable bars that kind of like they would slide in place and like move the spheres around the center. And a second drawing sort of in the corner shows all of the orbs sort of lined up, and they create an aperture in the orb. And there's sort of an annotation on that aperture that says Wraith output. And there's a few other annotations, but none of them are quite as eye-catching as that one.
I'm going to write down on another piece of paper. I want to copy the drawing a little bit and add a note that I think that the size of the, you say there was I don't know if it's the aperture, but something that, I'm looking for something that would look like a piston or ball or something. Maybe it's a portal, but I want to make a note on there that says we saw this. I'm trying to keep notes. We saw a divot in a floor that was approximately, write down the approximate dimensions of the divot in the floor, and they may be related to this device. I'll just tuck that away so I don't forget.
Okay.
And I'll keep this schematic on my person.
Cool.
And I'll close up the lockbox and lock it up again.
Alrighty.
Empty.
That was in Caravan 4 or 5?
4.
4.
And does that sphere that dispels magic only encapsulating the one caravan?
I think it's a 10-foot radius, so yes.
Okay.
Can only be used once?
The as the spell wears off a few moments later, the lockbox becomes invisible again, and as you look at the stone, that bright yellow pigment is now gone. The etching is still there, but the pigmentation is null.
Yeah, I'm not going to leave this around either. We're going to take the stone with us and hide it somewhere or give it to somebody.
Certainly.
We got to get out of here now, away from the caravans. That's the first thing, and then decide what we're doing with what we've got.
Well, we still have an individual that's far north with that other box.
Okay, so why don't we get away from the caravan in a northerly direction, and we'll discuss it away from here under more. I'm feeling a little exposed. Yeah, I'm feeling a little exposed. We're a little less exposed. Then we can talk about our plan for that.
Fair. Let's go.
Okay.
As you exit this fourth one, you spy something in the third.
Oh, what is that?
As you kind of if you've seen it, it's probably seen you. So, kind of a little less cautious than you might be approaching another cart. Had you not been in direct eyesight with it, you walk up and the third cart is filled with dummies, like straw stuffed outfits to make it look like there are people in the caravan from afar.
What the? It's a decoy. This whole caravan is a friggin' decoy, man. What does that even mean? Except for this one box that may or may not be valuable information. We definitely got to find those two people.
Yeah.
We got to get them. Is there anything else in carts 1 and 2?
Much the same, actually. Each of the other carts is contains the same sort of number of dummies, maybe like 6 or 8 of them per cart.
Okay, either they got a spell to turn people into dummies, or this is some impressive ruse for some larger reason. Okay.
All
Yeah.
right.
Let's get out.
So fucking out of there and going northward.
Yes.
Yeah.
All right. So when we're out of so Beldar, now that I'm going to say your name more properly, what do you want to do about these two? What are you thinking?
Well, I know Kristoff is not one to be messed with. It's a battle that I'm not sure. Maybe we can take him on, but there's that guy that's with him too. Looks like a wizard of some sort. So might be up against 2 strong guys, and I'm not sure how we either take them by surprise or we find an opportunity where we corner them. But we need to get that box.
Yeah. Yeah, whatever they got, I'd want it out of their hands. I think.
But I don't have a good plan on infiltrating that. It's
All I can think of is a direct confrontation. We can try to take advantage of the environment somehow, but it's going to be us meeting them in a wilderness.
Alrighty.
And we can get some benefit. We can get some advantage.
like I did the other group and say, hey, is there anything up there trying to figure out a way around this bridge?
I don't think Kristoff is going to fall for any of this.
Not.
I'm not going to. I don't want that guy with that one. I don't want him saying anything. I'd be going for him first, just to keep him from casting anything. We've seen what those folks can do.
Yeah, we get caught. We're going to be tortured in ways you can't even imagine.
I've got a very good imagination for how the Danes torture.
Yeah, this ruthless looking ball crusher. Not good.
I used to be in the information network for Dain.
Seems like I designed the ball crusher.
That was mine. I'm not proud.
What's wrong with you?
The perversion of it wasn't meant to get information. No, one of the things we figured out was if you want information, you befriend them, or at least make you think they have. You take your time, months, and then you start getting information. Torture was just they'd ask us to come up with these things just to give them kind of stupid entertainment. That's one of the reasons I left. Anyway.
And took an active role against them, eh?
What's that?
And took an active role against them.
Yes. So one of my concerns is if one of us doesn't make it out, at least one of us has to make it out to take this document to the right channels. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to give Beldar a sign to go into the next town that's not the capital. Like Forcell would be a good one.
like give them a sign to look for that would, get them in touch with my network of people and give them this document and tell them what happened. All right, so whatever secret way he needs to get in touch with people. All right, so one of us is going to get this information along if we don't both make it.
And he teaches you like a couple of thieves' cant symbols that are, typical like safe house markers that you could go into and be like, hey, I know one of your people. This is something from them.
Mhm.
Probably gives you a call sign too.
All right, so should we track him down? Get this,
Let's do it.
take him out.
All right, make a
What's in the
survival checks
box?
for me.
What's in the box?
Ugh, 3. That's my usual roll.
3 and 20 what?
25.
Nice. Right.
It's been the exact range of us.
Yep.
Beldar, that's the river. Get out of there.
You're not gonna find any tracks there. Beldar just kind of lets C take the lead, accepting that he is not as good at this as the spy. C, you are very quickly able to pick up the tracks of Kristoff and the adjutant, and follow it northward until you get to a ruined. You can kind of see it before you get super close through the trees. You could see the ruins of an old keep or watchtower or some such. And the tracks, as you continue to follow them, seem to lead up to there.
It goes to a keep.
Mm-hmm. It's a keep is probably
A bit too grand of a word, but still,
Yeah.
it's going to a structure, an edifice.
Yep.
And they're within, probably.
As you get close, actually, you can hear voices, and they seem to be coming from the roof.
Can I eavesdrop at all and hear what they're saying?
Sure. They seem to be looking and surveying the landscape and trying to find another way across.
Oh. Hey,
Um,
Bill, are you able to collapse a tower?
I was thinking light it on fire, but it's probably a stone tower, huh?
This is stone. However, shatter does work against such things.
That's true. I mean,
Take it down to the top.
Towers. Wait, Shatter, do you think could take down the tower, or just damage it enough to? I'm not sure if I understand the capability of it.
So it probably wouldn't be able to destroy the entire tower, but if you were able to kind of get under them and point it at a choice location, you might be able to blow the floor out from under their feet.
Right.
All right. We're about to die, aren't we?
It's a one shot. It's for a good cause.
Yeah. All right, let's I'll step in and I'll do that.
All right, let's go ahead and go into roll 20.
I'm in.
Oh, you seem to have already had that one made up.
That makes me feel good. We might be on the right track.
Let me see. Controlled by Dennis.
And my stone tower would have fallen apart like that.
Purple.
There's like a note on here on this on my character sheet that's like I'm horribly jealous of anyone who can outshine my handiwork. Everywhere I go, I'm surrounded by rivals. I'm probably super into my own work.
Yeah. The stonework here is definitely human. It's not that impressive. You feel smugly superior.
It's not. I'm not easily impressed.
Which there really ought to be a word in English that just means smugly superior.
Smugly superior.
All right. So you can kind of, triangulate where they are from the sound of their conversation. You'd probably need to get pretty much right underneath of that corner of the tower in order to blow it out from under them.
Okay. Let's do it.
What about the stuff landing on him and hurting him?
You mean underneath it within variance?
No, you need to be like in these areas.
Oh, on the outside.
Yeah.
So I'll sneak along.
So
I'll move
basically,
along.
it cause a rock slide, and you'll have a small window to like dodge out of the way. There will be a dex save involved, but certainly passable. Kate, I don't think just smug quite gets the whole because smug can be a number of things. Like it doesn't just have to be feeling superior. Um, you can be smug about something that was done well, but just in a selfish way, not in a comparative way. But yeah, so like from that location thereabouts, you could get it. Do make a stealth check for me. It's not going to affect whether or not you can do this, but it might affect how quickly they can get after you once this is done.
8.
8? Okay. So I think their passive perceptions are high enough to notice you there. So they do see you, and they kind of peer downward, and the caster begins to maneuver the box in his hand, and kind of like grabs it with his second hand. But as he's doing that, you're blasting the floor underneath of them. So go ahead and roll. Just roll the damage. You're not gonna miss the wall.
It's the second level slot.
I want to get statistics on Jesse's rolls. I want to know what the
Was it-
distribution is on his d20s.
Yeah. 5d8. That's right. Okay.
Ooh,
16.
that's well below half.
That is. Wow. Oof.
Yeah, those are pretty low.
It's
Yeah,
got
they're
fall
all
damage too, though.
above half.
So it is enough to kind of get there, uh, but they're gonna have an easier time of kind of righting themselves. So go ahead and make a dexterity saving throw, and they will as well. That was 2 crit fails in a row.
19.
uh,
My dex save.
I don't know what their bonuses are, but I don't think they're good enough to make up for that. No, and
Up to plus
shoot,
0.
I thought I had a.
That's a good roll, Jesse.
That is a good roll.
Yeah, finally.
There we go.
I've had some good rolls. I haven't critted in a while.
Okay. All right. So yeah. So you blast out a small section of the wall from underneath of them, sending them both careening backwards, hitting hard against the stone. And even though it's not a huge section of the tower that gets blown out, they do each fall downward. And I'm gonna go ahead and say that Shatter was probably in range to hit them too. So the total damage was 16. What's the save? What's the save stat?
I think it was 14 or 12.
Is it Constitution though? That's more what I'm. Oh, they both fail regardless. None of their bonuses are good enough to overcome a 5 and an 8. It was, yeah, none of them had a +6 on their stat bonuses.
Oh, Constitution save.
Yeah, that's. Oh, actually, yeah, okay. So uh the mage manages to make his. So he'll only take half of that, but yeah.
It's a start.
Oh my gosh, spelling is hard, especially when it's my own character names. 16 and took 8. This over here and change this guy to the battle view. All right, so let's everybody roll initiative.
$15.
11 again.
His is a 6, and the other is an 8. Alrighty, so that'll give C the first round. They are both prone, as they both crit failed their... Oh, actually, they will take a little bit more damage from falling. I'm going to say... call it 2d6? That sounds reasonable.
Kind of boulder. Big piece of stone doesn't happen to fall on their heads and crush them in.
Actually, wait. Let's call it 2d6 will be the fall damage, and then they'll take another d10 from rock falls. Holy cow! 6, 6, and 10 on 2d6 and a d10.
What?
Nice. So they each take 22 points more damage.
That's how you get a start.
Yeah.
Could we kill Kristoff? That'd be a
All right.
major blow, huh? Danish.
It would be. Okay. Yeah, C, you're up. And actually, we're going to take another quick intermission because I need to take another bio break. Sorry. We'll be right back.
So,
You really build the drama.
yeah, I'm gonna build just so I can break it. Okay, so I am going to. So this this what did you call him? Become the V maybe. The magic caster.
I don't
Anyway.
think I gave him a name.
Yeah, but yeah, there's a word you had for him that I can't remember right now. So I am going. He's prone, yeah.
Yes.
So I have advantage on the attack.
Yes.
I think I do anyway because Beldar's behind me.
I think it's got to be within 5 feet of the enemy, but I could be wrong. Either way, you have
Oh,
advantage.
it could be. Okay, well. So I'm gonna do 2 attacks on this person. So first one is 20.
All right.
Second one, or sorry, that's Oh,
2d0.
2d0. Let's try that again.
You rolled max on both of your zeros.
The first
Nice.
one's a
Crit?
crit.
There we
Now
go.
the
Oh,
second attack. It's a 16 for the first effort. And a 9 for the second effort. So does a 16 hit?
Let me double check. It just barely hits, yes.
Okay, so a crit and a regular hit.
Yep.
So now the damage on the first one, and like I said, I'm sneak attack. So
Yeah, so 24 plus 8 plus 4.
roll.
So 36 plus a d8.
Okay, 36 plus. I'll just take your word for it. 36 plus d8 is 39
All
on the first
right.
attack, and then d8 plus 4 is 12 on the second attack. So 51 points of damage.
Damn. All right, he is starting to look hurt.
Starting to look hurt.
Starting to look very hurt.
I felt that.
It's Balder. I have to tell you something. I can't feel any of this. What a great fight.
Yeah.
Anyhow, yeah, so he's looking hurt. As you just leap onto him and stab downwards with your rapier. Not that you would ever hold a rapier like this. Stab downwards with your rapier.
I think I get what's it? Because since he is prone, I think I can use cunning action to disengage or hide.
His proneness does not affect that. You can do that regardless.
All right, I'm gonna just get out of the way, and if I could just go around the wall, I'm hidden, right?
Yep. Well,
All
you
right.
have to actually take a hide action. They can't see you, but like.
Yeah, I'm trying to hide. So,
Okay, so if you want to be able to do that in one turn, you can't take the cunning action disengage. He'll get an opportunity attack.
So I have to do. I'm a little confused. You can take a bonus action on each of your turns to take the dash, disengage, or hide action.
Correct. So
Or hide
normally, those three things take an action.
Mhm.
So if you are engaged with that enemy, you have to either disengage and then move, or take an attack of opportunity while moving.
So I can only. So I cannot hide. I have to disengage because I was engaged.
Or you can not disengage and allow yourself to be attacked, and then hide. Because you used your action to attack, now you still have a bonus action. You can use that either to disengage, which allows you to not take opportunity attacks, or to hide. If you want to hide, then you have to not disengage.
I see. So I'll just disengage so I can get out of the way a bit.
Okay.
And that's the
Cool.
5, 10. Okay. So now he doesn't have line of sight on me.
Yes.
All right.
All right, Belder, you're up.
All they see is Belder. They still don't know that I'm there.
They know that you're there. They just
Don't
don't.
just hit me.
Just a little discombobulated.
Yeah, like they knew that something else attacked them, but now they don't know where that thing is because it went around a corner.
All right, I'll take my 2 battle axes at the wizard. That's who
Okay.
you just attacked, right? Wizard?
Yeah.
Yep.
That's who he attacked.
Yes.
Okay, cool. That's who I'm going to attack. So I got to move 1 step further. There is no wall there anymore, right? We're just kind of like in the midst of rubble.
Correct.
imagine.
Yes.
Okay, so and then do 23 for the first one. 28
Nice.
for the second. Oh, that's a crit.
That's a crit.
Yep.
Damn.
They haven't. This was just having a bad day.
So it's going to be 17 plus 1d12 plus 5, right?
Yes, but let me check something because I think he's gonna cast shield on that first one. But I don't know if shield actually does anything for crits.
Is it the same shield that I have?
Yes. Actually, I think.
Does it
Is
say
an
anything
action which
about
you
it?
take when you're hit by an attack or targeted by the magic missile spell. Your first roll being a 23, it actually wouldn't help him. Yeah. All right. He'll eat it.
Really? Okay. Okay, so the first attack, 1d12 plus 5. Oh, actually, I have to like type it correctly. 7.
Okay.
And then the second will be 17 plus 1d12 plus 5.
God.
Okay.
All right. Yeah. This mage is just split in half. He was stabbed twice, and then the first strike he kind of tries to like throw an arm up, and it just cuts his arm off. And then the second one just goes right into his midsection, and he is severed. It is not a pretty picture, and he just is immediately dead.
Oh, Kristoff.
Yeah. All right.
Means you're outnumbered.
Just the way I like it. All right. So Thorvald is dead. Kristoff is going to take a step forward, kind of saunter up, and he just kind of opens his hand, and in it appears this just horrific looking greatsword, which he takes, kind of leans back and charges forward at you with it. And that is going to be. Where is his thing? Here we are. That is a 21 to hit.
That's a hit.
Alrighty. So that'll be. Oh no, wait, no. That's supposed to be that. There we go.
I think I'm going to cast shield
Wow.
as a reaction.
Okay. Bringing your AC up to 21. Or 24, I mean.
Yeah.
Alrighty. So as he drives forward, you can see that the blade is about to make contact, and you just throw a hand in front of it, instinctively casting the shield spell, which just bursts out this wall of force energy, and the blade punches into it, but is not able to pierce through.
Whoa.
He kind of snarls at you, and with his second, he is going to. Oh, what is that guy? Yeah, alright. He is going to see that shield, and he is going to cast Dispel Magic. What level is shield?
Level 1.
I think that means it automatically fails. Yeah, alright. So, or it automatically disappears. So he casts Dispel Magic and gets rid of your shield, and then strikes again. Ooh, that is not super high, though. That is a... what's his bonus? A plus...
He gets
something.
3 actions?
Yes, he does.
Wow.
That is a 15.
Good for him.
Yeah, that's a miss. Man, if he didn't get that, then I'd have been able to block all of his things, or at least up to AC 20.
24.
Yep. 24.
Yep. So he dispelled your shield, but then the second one, he just went wide a little bit as you were prepared for the next strike. Even if you weren't prepared for the shield going away, you still moved out of the way in time to dodge the second blow. And that will end his turn. C, you are up.
Okay. I'm going to move so that Beldar will have advantage when it's his turn.
Okay.
And I'm going to make my. And I've got advantage on my attacks. And.
This is one crafty kobold.
Does a 12
Oh.
hit?
No, it does not.
Does a 22 hit?
Yes.
Okay.
Kind of had a smirk on your face. I thought you were going to say no. Oh, man.
They came through after he said it, so I was still looking at the 12 and 10 from before, and I was like, shit, dude.
Yeah.
But yeah, 22 will hit.
All right. So that's 29 points of damage.
Is your sword magical?
Yes.
Okay, cool.
It's moon touched rapier. Does that mean it's magical?
Yes.
Okay.
Good. So he takes 29 points of damage instead of half of that.
All right.
Not 2, 29. All right. Anything else?
I better sit tight in this pot so that Beldar has a hope at an advantage attack. So I'm going to stay flanking,
Okay.
knowing that that puts me at peril.
Beldar, your move.
All right, well, let's take a couple attacks with the battle axe. It's a 20. Oh, that's a crit.
Damn! All right.
I will refrain from taking the second roll for advantage and go with the second attack roll now.
All right.
And that's a 24.
That one has advantage too, so see if you crit on the second one as well.
Oh, yeah, that's true.
Please crit on the second one.
That would be freaking crazy. Hey, Matt, does this change your story if we kill this guy?
It
14.
All right, 24 is good.
All right. Yeah, so a crit and a hit.
Does a 14 hit too?
No.
The 24 was the higher on the
Yeah.
second roll.
Oh, 24, yeah. 24 hits, okay. Not the 18. Okay, so, let's see, 17. 31 points of damage for the first one.
Nice. Oh, you only get the +5 once.
Oh, really?
Yeah, so it's 26 points.
Yeah, I'm not doing it that way.
And 7 from the second.
Yeah.
All right, so he takes the first hit and he kind of like almost goes to one knee but rights himself before completely falling. And then the second one, he blocks most of it, but still takes a decent hit to the arm. And it is his turn, and I gotta figure out what he's gonna do. Let's see. I think.
So I like a +5 on the first attack and not the second attack. That's what you said?
When you crit, that 17 is the max damage on the 12 plus your 5 from your strength mod, and the 1 from the magic weapon. So the 17 is the flat damage, and then you get the d12 on top of that.
Oh, because it says the damage is 1d12 +5.
Right. So that's your normal damage.
Yeah.
The crit. So normally the crit doubles the damage dice.
Oh, I see what you're saying.
Yeah. So it doesn't double the bonus as well. Yeah.
Okay. Gotcha. Sorry.
All good. Let me see here. He is gonna. Yeah, I think he's gonna do that.
Is it like a flesh wound? I've cut off your arm.
Your whole arm's off. What? No, it isn't. What's that then? Ah! Okay. Alright, so he is going to use, he's going to cast his Blinding Smite, which envelops his, actually, it should really be a different named spell, because it's not really Blinding Smite. It's like Blighting Smite. So he envelops his, sword in this just, like, eldritch black energy, and swings it at, Beldar. That's a crit.
Oh
Oh,
snap!
Yep. So that is
putting the camera on that. That was good.
And we said shield does not stop crits.
correct.
Uh,
Plus, I think with that it's a 27, so shield wouldn't stop it from hitting anyway. All right. I want that,
fair.
and then that, and then
I don't know what
the
his modifier is.
d6s are also doubled. All right. This is not going to be fun for Beldar.
Remember, it's not Morthos.
$61 points of damage. As he raises the blade and just slashes it downward. You raise up your blade to block it, and it just crumples your arms. The force of the blow just pushes you down, and it cuts deep into your shoulder, seriously injuring you. And most of that is, let me see, 20 of it is slashing. A good bit of it is necrotic. I don't know the exact number because I didn't check the dice. And then 27 of it is, which I guess only leaves, 14? So 14 necrotic. 27 of it is necrotic, but from the smite, as his Illrigger powers.
Yeah, I'm not looking good. I'm still up, but not looking good.
And then he is going to,
That's a powerful hit.
he's gonna hit you again.
Oh right, he's got 3 attacks.
Yep. He does not get the smite on this one, though, so it's a lot less dice. And it was a bad roll. That is a 12. So as you he kind of misjudges his own strength and expects you to still be standing up right after the first one. So like he's kind of already committed to like a shot at your head level, and it just goes over because you're not there now. He didn't expect you to fall so hard. All right.
You probably over your opponent
That'll get us to C's turn.
as he should.
all right. Well, I'm gonna keep hammering away here.
He is.
I-
Was that only 2?
I'm gonna. I was like, man, I hope you have the good sense to take a potion, like healing potion. Okay, so the
These were
first
still
attack is 23.
That hits.
Second attack is 20.
Just barely hits.
Okay.
Yeah, his AC is 20.
For 29 points of damage
Alrighty.
combined. That's combining the two.
Yep. Yeah, that's right. All right, cool. So, kind of focus on Balder. Beldar? It's not
Eldar?
Balder like Baldur's Gate.
Yeah.
Focused on Beldar. He doesn't really notice C getting a good angle on him from behind, and he recoils in pain as the rogue's rapier pierces him twice. Beldar, you're up.
All right, let's take another couple swipes with the battle axe.
Don't forget you have Action Surge and Second Wind as resources should you need them.
Yeah, go all in, man.
Forgot about the second.
I think you can only use one of them in a round. I can't. Yeah, they're both bonus actions. Oh, no. Nope. Action Surge is not a bonus action.
Do it. You've got nothing left. Put it all into this.
Oh yeah, I get. Okay, so I'll take. I'll do.
You get
Second wind is bonus action. Yeah,
yes,
as a bonus.
but then your Action Surge you could just do it. It doesn't cost anything.
And I still get my 2 actions normally.
Mm-hmm. Yeah, bonus action is separate
it
from your action.
Right. So does that mean I get a third battle axe attack?
You would get 4.
Okay, so 4 battle axe attacks, and I
And
get to regain
a
1d10 plus fighter level HP.
Yeah.
Is that what my fighter level HP is right now?
Your fighter level is 8.
Oh, 1d10 plus 8?
Yeah.
So that's 14.
All right.
That'll give me back. Put me a little more comfortable. And then 4 attacks. Oh, I already swung for 26, and that's a hit, right? So I'll do...
Yep.
Remember, you've got advantage on your swings.
Oh, yeah, I get advantage. So let me take the second swipe there.
That's true.
So that's a crit. So that's a 14. And then here's this. Here, you want me to do the attack separately, or you want me to do them all together?
Do them all together. I would actually just say roll. You've already rolled 1 attack, right? Just roll 60, 20.
Yeah, but then the plus 8 gets weird, right?
We could just do it individually. I'm quick enough at math to make that work.
Okay, yeah. 60, 20.
Yep. All right, no crits and 4 misses, 2 hits.
Yep, 1 second. So... 16 and 17
Nice.
points of damage.
Good damage. So that's a total.
Oh, I didn't roll. I rolled damage for the first one, didn't I?
No.
No, you did not. Oh wait, sorry. I said it wrong, but the result is effectively the same. You got 2 hits in there.
2 hits total.
Yeah. Plus the first one, so 3 total. So you've rolled for 2. Roll for 1 more.
Okay, so 12, 17, and 16. So
30, 40, 43? No, 46. 45. 45. All right. Cool. He is up, but is still looking quite hurt. And he kind of is looking around at the both of you and just not how I wanted this day to go. And how much does he want to fuck with you all? Let's find out. Hey Jesse. Evens or odds?
Odd.
Odd it is. He's gonna take the risk. All right. He moves out of your attack range. Both of you get attacks of opportunity on him.
Fuck yeah.
And we have both at advantage on those attacks of opportunity?
Um, that is a good question.
Oh, because it's flanking? A flanking tax of opportunity?
Yeah. He's in between us.
He's moving out from between you, but
Anyway, I got a crit, so.
Cool. I think it still works.
It's still at advantage? Is
Yeah.
that what you said?
Yep.
Okay. So,
You do not get sneak attack on it though, Dennis.
That's fair, yeah.
yeah, I got a 13 and a 12. I don't think I hit.
Nope.
Okay, 12 would have been my max plus D8 plus 4. 17.
Alrighty. He does survive. As he pulls away, you get one last really nice stab at him as he kind of parries away Baldar's blade. You find, like, as he raises his arm, you stab in underneath and kind of tear into the ribs. And he howls in pain, but continues on over to his fallen friend's corpse, where he picks up the box and he gives it a good shake, and you see it begin to open. And
Uh-oh.
next, he pulls a gem out of his cloak, and he crushes it in his hand. And as he does, he glows in light, and the light fades, and he is gone.
Is the box still there, or is the box gone too?
The box is still there, and it is slowly opening itself up. This like mechanism inside of it is folding outward until you can see it's taking the shape of the schematic you saw, with these concentric orbs.
Break it. I see what's happening. Like this, like stop it, break it. What? Like I'm.
All right, what are you doing to try and break it?
Whatever I can. Just breaking it.
So
and I'm yelling at both of them for the same thing.
You do get the first go on it. So C, what are you doing?
Well, if he's screaming, oh, so you said C.
Yeah.
All I know to do is, I mean, I'm looking at my character sheet here.
You don't have any magic, so it's kind of stab it or try and. I mean, you have your thieves' tools. You could feasibly try and see if you could dismantle it.
I'm gonna I think my first clue is
Run.
my thief thing. Like you don't hit it with a hammer. You go through the mechanisms. So I'm gonna see if I can work the mechanisms like a thief.
All right. I'm gonna say make an insight check to try and like ascertain what you might be able to do with it.
Okay.
You're not familiar with it enough to just go at it with the tools. You gotta like kind of get its bearings first.
Oh crap! 10.
Okay. Given that you're kind of in combat, it's hard to not in combat, but you're like in a panic. It's hard to see like every bit of the inner workings, but you do see a spot where it looks like you could like jam the mechanism and stop the orbs from aligning. But you don't have time to do that yet before Beldar gets his action and the orb gets its.
All right. Well, I'm shouting to Beldar what I'm seeing as I'm doing that.
Alrighty. Beldar, what are you doing?
I'm going to try to take my axe and shove it into that freaking wrench in the spokes. Wrench in the spokes.
All right. Make an attack roll. That is not enough on your first one. You do have a second attack. That's
24?
enough. All right. Really, man? Really?
What?
I don't like killing spiders, but when they just walk right up my computer screen without a care in the world, it's too obvious, man. Come on. Stay back there.
Got a carrot till right now. I saw a finger come to smush it.
Right, yeah.
That was his first care.
Yep. And his last. Yeah, so that hits. I don't need you to roll damage. You jam the battle axe's head into one of the slots between the orbs, and you're attempting to stop it from rotating. It is exerting a pretty powerful force against you. Um, it's not stopping. It's just like it's not stopping trying to get into position. You've not disarmed it, but you've disabled it for the moment.
So can I try again to disable it
You
or
can.
disarm it? All right, so that's what I want to disarm this thing.
All right. You have a little bit more time now, as your friend is holding it open or closed, as the case were.
So is this going to be inside again, or
No, this will be a check with your
dexterity?
thieves' tools.
Okay. 27. I gotta I maxed out my dice.
Yeah.
Crit.
Cool. Let me see here. Yeah. So you're not an arcane trickster or anything.
But I saw the schematic earlier.
Right. And given just like you have a vague familiarity with magic, you kind of had to in your line of work. And so as you're peering at this thing and kind of messing with it and trying to get your thieves' tools in the right place, um, you notice that there is a sort of a field of energy that kind of crackles and sparks around that central gem that sort of powers the thing. And though you're not particularly familiar with the arcane, you know that you know just generally the integrity of these things sort of depends on the stone itself being integral. And so you kind of take one of your picks, which has sort of a diamond crusting on the file side, and you just scrape at the side of it, flawing the gemstone, and that flaw is enough to effectively break the resonance of the magic it provides, and the whole machine just kind of with a decrescendo, or not a decrescendo, I don't know, a falling
What's
tone,
under?
just a kind of shuts down and stops glowing.
Closes up and locks back up.
Sorry. Uh, the box is actually no longer in sight. It's become this apparatus, and as you shut it down, it just kind of like falls. It stop like you're holding up kind of dead weight now, and it's a little too heavy for you to just immediately react to, so it kind of drops with your axe in it to the ground. Just kind of falls in a
So we
mess.
can't just sort of put this thing back in the box and go away, can we?
Uh, not without some, not easily, but does it matter?
I mean, we don't want to just leave this lying around. Some kid could find it.
Couldn't do much with it in its present state, but
Gun
fair.
safe, you know.
Throw it in the river.
Oh, can we destroy it?
Yeah, well, we did destroy it, but I like the idea of kind of dumping it in the river in bits and pieces.
Sure.
I mean, maybe even keep the gems for fun.
Yeah.
And profit.
Absolutely. Cool.
Yeah.
So you dismantle it as best you can, dropping pieces kind of in the river, allowing the current to carry them away before dropping the next piece. And yeah, you've got the schematic. You have dismantled the first instance of whatever the thing was, and your mission is a success. Well done.
You killed a powerful wizard.
You killed a powerful wizard and gave a general in the Danish army a run for his money.
Yeah, but he ran.
But he remembers. He'll remember.
Yeah. Hopefully that affects the morale a little bit when people see him injured like that. Maybe it'll weaken his command over people when they see
Very
him
well
brought
might.
down a peg or two.
Where do you have to take this information back to? See.
So at this point, there's a few places I could go. I think the nearest fine town will do, so I can meet back up with our network. I think you should come with me to help tell your side of the story to
maybe you'll catch details I missed. There's one thing that still concerns me, and that's the dummies in the cart. But we may have to leave well enough alone for now because this is very important information, and I want to get it into the right hands as soon as possible.
Well, the guy that was leading that caravan just vanished and knows where we are and who we are and what we look like.
Yeah.
So I would say we skedaddle over to that city that you were talking about. If you don't mind, I follow along. And
Yeah, we'll go to
I
Fort.
don't have much complaints right now, so.
All right.
I did hear of another place we could go to after we drop off information for itself, where I think we'll get a little more protection.
I like that setup. Is it perhaps called Lila?
Lila. We'll go there after and spread the word.
Excellent. So very good. That was a fun one shot, guys. I enjoyed that. Just to
I was for sure. I for sure thought we were gonna die. Like.
So if I'd had a bit more time, yeah, I'll do this on stream. Whatever, it doesn't matter. So that was a weakened version of Kristoff. He is actually going to be considerably more powerful when met in the campaign, partially because he's probably going to have to stand up against a whole party. So that was like a bit of a toned down version. If I had had more time, I would have written out the stat block so you could actually like face him, and then it would have been one of you dies, and the other one's probably just going to try and fucking run.
So the plan was, when you said 61 points of damage, I was like, okay, if he goes down, I'm out of here.
Yeah.
I got the schematic. At least I can inform the rebellion.
Yep.
That's exactly what I was thinking.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So yeah, that was kind of that bit. And it would have been even more intense fight, I think, had I gotten the whole stat block out. But it worked as it was. The dummies.
Well, with the drawn rate, we did get like what, 3 crits.
Yeah, you guys got a bunch of crits, and then he just got the one. But yeah.
Which was almost good enough.
Yeah, it was. It was all he needed. The dummies in the carts. So effectively, what that was, that they were trying to make that caravan appear rather innocuous. The most defensed thing in there was empty deliberately, because it would raise, like, people would not be able to tell what was going on. The rest of the carts, or like maybe something had gone away, but it was also a decoy in case someone did decide to attack the caravan. They would likely attack the most guarded thing first, thinking that was the best place to get a valuable thing. So they guarded that the most, being nothing. Kristoff and Thorbolt, his adjutant, were relatively guarded, but they were the only thing with actual people in them. The rest had dummies to make it look like a regular caravan from the outside, where anybody just looking, they'd be like, oh, it's, a traveling caravan of people who hired a guard. Relatively innocuous.
Now, where did all the citizens in the town go?
That was actually covered in one of the sessions for the other group. They all turned into Wraithhearts. That thing.
That is what happened.
Yeah, that thing that you destroyed. That is the first kind of working implementation of the Wraith engine.
It's just like one Agent Smith Wraithheart.
So the town of Valenford was effectively a testing ground, and they wiped out the entire population of a town in their own country to see if they could just change people into wraiths effectively. And as the design has gotten better, they were able to actually start generating wraiths without human bodies to use. Which the other group is already aware of, so you guys can be aware of it too now. So the other thing, you guys got the schematic and the information for you, but that was not the only schematic made. They had redundancies. So the Danish army will still get their design. This won't have this has an impact on the story, but it won't be like earth-shattering.
So did you have the idea of that schematic being in that caravan, or is it because we used that stone at that particular moment? Like, well, something should be in there.
So, vaguely. I didn't want you to waste the item, but I knew that there would be other copies somewhere. I hadn't figured out exactly, like, oh, it's going to be in that cart. But I just figured, I mean, if they're using the resource, I'll give them something for it. But it was in the
So
caravan regardless.
I'm like, this is weird. And then we get to the one spot where the thing's open. I'm like, oh god, I wish we could have had a little stone right now.
Yep. Yeah, that was
Even
the intended use of it, but you guys found a way around it, so that's good.
And the funny thing is like the wizard didn't even get a freaking spell off.
Yep. He just
Did
got
he even have a
wrecked.
turn? He didn't
No, I
even
don't
get a
think he
turn.
did. He just
Yeah.
got his
Oh, we
ass
freaking
handed to him.
assassinated that guy.
That was also, I mean, yeah. My thing was focus on the spellcaster.
Right.
I feel like we can try to go toe to toe with Kristoff, but I got nothing against. I can run away from that guy.
Yeah, right. But all right, cool. So I hope you guys had fun on that one shot. That was cool.
Great.
And
Yeah,
thank you
cool.
everybody who joined us tonight. And as always, may all your rolls be lucky. Now we wait, as always, for the stream to catch up with me saying, may all your rolls be lucky.